All right. We are back, huh? We're back at the 9 Club, everybody. Today, we have a very special. He's a special guest. Mr. Andrew Cannon is with us. How are you, dude?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good, dude. Good. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Recent free agent.
Oh.
Recent free agent, dude.
Life's crazy.
We were, I mean, you were your title at Santa Cruz?
I was the brand manager for 11 years.
11 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time. But I'm sure in skateboarding, like, time flies, though.
It does.
Did it feel like 11 years?
Sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes it did. But honestly, I think what was crazy is, like, not even, like, necessarily the 11 years part. That brand has been around for 50 years.
That's crazy.
I sat in that seat for a fifth of its lifetime.
Wow.
That's crazy to consider.
That's real.
That is crazy.
It's especially for just, like, such a legendary brand that's been through, like, such insane highs and then some, like, kind of weird lows and just sort of all over the place,
right,
you know?
Right.
So, yeah, it was nuts.
How was the 11 years, though? Did you have the time of your life out there? Or like,
I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it. I mean, you know, NHS is a company we were talking about before we got on. Like, Kelly worked there, and it is, like, such a great company to work for. And so, yeah, it was truly, like, a special time. Like, basically, when I got hired, I mean, do you want to get into a little of that?
Let's do it. Yeah, 100%, bro.
So when I got hired, I went to school, got my degree in education, and I was like, okay, I don't want to do that. I'm going to try to do skateboarding thing if I can. And then I had a very short stint as a C-tier pro for World.
A, B, C.
We're talking down there. But you know what? My goal was always, I just wanted to travel. Like, I just wanted to see the world, and I wanted to go do that. I did, yeah.
So that is an accomplishment.
I was very thankful for that. Yeah. It was awesome. Right. And so that was always the goal, right? And so that happened, and then the World stuff ended, and I was like, my ex-wife was pregnant, and we were having twins. So it was like, oh, it's about time. And so I was getting real. I was like, I got to get a job.
Real quick, though, how did the World thing end?
It was actually, it was weird. I think we knew that things were coming to an end. Like, we had just put out, like, a video and stuff. And
which video was that, so we know?
I think it was the It's Your World video. I don't, honestly, we had just done a bunch of stuff. And we did it, and it was all fine and good. And it just didn't, like, you know, you just keep knocking at the door, and then it's just like nobody's answering.
Sure.
And so we got to a place where it just ended, and they called us, and it was like, I think it was like a week before Thanksgiving, and they were like, oh, we're just not going to give you a paycheck next month. And I was like, the fuck you are? Like, what? I have a mortgage, you know? And so I ended up calling the owners at the time and was like, hey, how are you going to do that to somebody? Like, I skated for you guys for so many years, you know, and I always was down, whatever. And they were like, all right, what do you want? And I was like, I want, like, my next month's paycheck, and then I want the travel reimbursement for this trip that I went on. And he was like, okay. And he was like, don't tell anyone. And I was like, all right, I won't tell anyone.
Really?
But now you're talking on a podcast.
Now I can talk about it. It's been a while. So, yeah, we got that handled, and so that ended. And then I skated for Matt Price's company called Brimley for just, like, a very, very short span of time. But it was really fun. And then I saw this job on, like, Malachi, that site.
It's a website that
in action sports.
Skateboard jobs and stuff like that. It's all action sports, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, pardon me.
It's like a LinkedIn. No. It's like a Craigslist for skateboard.
It's like jobs. An Indeed, or it's, you know, like one of those jobs. I mean, LinkedIn, something like that.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I've never heard that.
Should we just start one?
Similar.
Indubitably, right? So I had seen this job on there, and then I actually went and visited Haslam, and I stayed with him and his parents in Watsonville, California. And actually, I'm trying to, the order of operations. Went, stayed there, and was like, whoa, this place is crazy. Like, it reminds me of Pennsylvania, which is where I'm from. And I was like, there's like windy back roads and there's trees. And I was like, this is kind of cool. And obviously Santa Cruz, very familiar as a skateboarder. And I was like, man, that would be a crazy job. There's no way I could get that job. So I didn't apply. And then I go to Tampa Pro and I see Keith Wilson. So Keith Wilson was the independent brand manager for, I think he did it for like 17 years or maybe longer. And I talked to Keith. I'm like, hey, is that Santa Cruz job still available? He goes, you want to work for Santa Cruz? And I was like, I don't know, maybe. And then he goes, well, what would you do if you were going to like work for Santa Cruz? And we had this like, I want to say we talked for like 2 hours. And I just was like, okay, here's what I think it needs, and yada, yada, yada. And we leave, and he goes, after that conversation, he goes, you know what? I'm going to give you Jeff Kendall's email. You should shoot him over your resume. I was like, should I include a cover letter? And he goes, just send over your resume.
Do you have a resume at this point?
No. And then I did do a cover letter, and I sent it over to Jeff Kendall. It was like I don't know, I probably got back on Monday. I sent it over on like a Tuesday, right? In the morning. I got an email back so fast. And I was like, whoa. And it was like, can you talk today?
Like out of office.
Yeah.
No.
It was
Imagine.
out of office. Go die.
Instant reply. Out of office. Man. Those are quick. They're quick.
Very fast.
They're very automated and quick.
And they really hurt.
Sorry.
No, I got this like email back pretty quick. He's like, can you talk today at whatever time? And I was like, absolutely. And so I think he said like, hey, can you talk for, maybe it was a half an hour or something. We ended up talking for like an hour and a half, which is kind of a classic Kendall move. Like you go, I got a Jeff 1-to-1, and all of a sudden you're like 2 hours. Like, whoa. But he basically asked me a ton of questions. He's like, who would you put on if you could? Who is this? That. And it was so cool because I was able to just be very honest with him.
Did you know, were you that familiar with the brand? Did you follow the brand that closely of who they actually had on the team, what they were doing, or did you cram for the test?
A little of both.
Okay.
Like, I definitely knew who was on the team. I knew what was going on. I mean, I was a really big E-Man fan for a long time. So I definitely knew like what was going on over there, but it just was like in a spot where it was like, yeah, it needed a little bit of love, And a big part of that was because at the time, the art director was also the brand manager, which is...
That's a lot.
It is crazy. Wow. Like...
Who was that?
Is this guy, Lucas. And basically, that brand is so massive that it's impossible. You can't do both. And at the time, from like a dollars and cents standpoint, it was like there was a lot of opportunity for growth. And so they brought me in, and then it took a little while. Lucas then was no longer there. And then this guy, Tyler Emanuel, who I was like, Tyler, I'm going to talk about you. He's like, my anonymity. And I was like, no. So Tyler Emanuel became the art director, and he's like one of the best human beings on the planet. And he grew up in Santa Cruz. And so he had this really just awesome view on what Santa Cruz should be. And so like, working in conjunction with him and then this other guy, Cody Mielek, he worked really heavily on like the art side, and then basically grew into this like apparel art director. We like really worked hard to kind of bring the brand back into kind of more of a look that it had in the past.
And how much control did like a company like that give you, like
Dude,
to do that?
It was crazy. Straight up, like I walked in the door and Jeff basically was like, here's the keys.
Really?
It was nuts. And so Jeff was such an advocate for me. And it was insane because when I started at NHS, people were like, who the fuck is this guy?
You had nothing. You had no job even close to anything like that before, huh?
This is
No.
the guy at World Industries.
No, and dude, that was a big thing too. Like I remember at the time, like E-Man was like, oh no, like, and he skated for World Industries, like, oh, and I'm like, I know, I swear I can be a better brand manager than a pro skater, I promise.
But it's surprising to me that like a heritage brand like that's been around forever, that will be like, oh yeah, here's the key to the castle. You would think that they would have some type of like, I don't know what they call
But
like.
there were some people were backing you, like Keith. Obviously, people were advocating for you. So it's
like
Absolutely.
a direction they wanted to go, or like a something, like a board, or I don't know.
I think that in the conversations that I had with Jeff, like leading up to it, and then when I started, because we would get together all the time. Like we would have these one-to-ones and check-ins and stuff like that. But I was very focused on like, we've got to get core skateboarding happening here again, because obviously there was a lot of licensing and stuff like that. But he was just like, he really wanted some change for the brand, and he just gave me the opportunity to do it.
Wow.
So, and it honestly, like, it worked, and pardon me.
You're pardoned.
Thank you. It was like this really amazing opportunity because at that time, Santa Cruz was just this brand that people were like, yeah, Santa Cruz. Okay, it's it's been around.
You see the shirts everywhere.
Well, at that time you didn't. You would see them in Santa Cruz proper.
I feel like I see the Santa Cruz shirt throughout my whole life, as far as back as I can remember.
You know what
I
though?
wanted to be a gangster.
It might be because California is just such like beach culture,
maybe. Yeah.
But like outside of it, it's
okay.
It's a different beast. So yeah, he just believed in me, and he gave me this crazy opportunity. And
Did you feel intimidated by that opportunity, or you
no,
were like ready to
I
get
was
it?
fucking psyched because to me, I'm just like, who gives a shit?
Right.
And so, like I said,
Who gives a shit?
Like we're just gonna go for it.
Okay.
Like I look at it like you just jump. You just go for it because why not? The worst that happens is you fail. And then Jeff
the brand
goes,
fails, and the
No.
heritage brand goes out of business, and it's all
comes to the World Industries guy.
because the World Industries guy, he's such a kook.
He did it.
No, but the cool part is NHS is so like set up for success that like there was no risk of it necessarily like failing or going out of business. And Jeff would have reeled me back in real quick, But he just gave me the chance.
So you walk in, you're hired. What's the first line of business when you get in there?
Actually, the first thing I did was I was like, Blake Johnson needs to be on the team. I was
Seriously,
like,
yeah, that's a good move.
because I had seen him at all these AM contests,
Killing it.
and he was young and he was ripping,
it.
like good energy, and I was like, we have to get him on the team. He's sick.
Skated like Sean Sheffy vibes.
Yes,
Yeah.
and he was already getting flow, so it was like, why on earth would we not do it? So we put Blake Johnson on, and then I think from there it was like you just kind of have to like figure everybody out. Like Gavin Denike was the team manager at the time, and so that was a little difficult. Like he and I at that time, just because things were a little. He had a vision of what things should look like. I definitely had a vision of what things should look like. Man, I love this,
Dude, Venice, local.
Yep.
Skated with this kid when he was such a little dude. To
He
see
was
him-
little at one point.
Yeah. Can you believe it?
I just love Blake. I think
great.
he's a great dude, and his skateboarding is always really cool.
So when something like that, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt with the video and everything. What were you talking about?
Well, so Blake Johnson got on, and then it was like, all right, how do we try to get some core skating going? And so I think we started flowing some people, and the big change was Tom Asta.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when that happened, I remember giving Tom a call and being like, hey, this is going to sound a little crazy. I was like, what do you think about riding for Santa Cruz? And
he was a free agent at this point, right?
yeah, so the mystery stuff had
thing was
ended.
over. Okay.
And I just was like, dude, it's secure. I can pay you.
He's talked about it on our show before.
Yeah.
He hasn't been shy about it because it was a big thing. Here you go with this Tom Asta. It's a left field move.
Oh, yeah.
For Santa Cruz. Left field and for Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super left field.
But I think what I always thought was so cool about Santa Cruz is that it has been everything over all the different years, right?
Yeah.
You have all the cool 80s stuff. Then you've got the 90s stuff. You've got your Ron Whaleys and stuff like that. Then you kind of get into this other realm where it was like a lot of these Europeans, like Flo Marfang and Alex Carolino, and like all of those. I mean, shit, Ted DeGroe, like all of those guys were so sick. And so you have this like really cool and interesting group of skaters. And so my 2 cents on it was always like the brand should appeal to all those different types of people because it's been all those different types.
Right.
And so bringing Tom in was definitely wild for everybody. You know, I mean, for Tom, it was like, I was so appreciative he took a leap. And then I was super thankful that like Jeff and everybody at NHS was down because I know that was also like what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And, I think that, well, I don't even think. I know that when Tom came into the fold, it helped so much in having conversations with younger skaters.
Mario McCoy,
Yeah.
He opened the door.
100%. I mean, I remember talking to Kevin Braun.
You opened the door.
Well, we, like Kevin Braun, I remember being like, Kevin, he was getting enjoy boards, and I was like, dude, you should, like, would you come over and skate here? Because what would happen is a bunch of these young rippers, like they were riding for, they would ride for a board brand on Flow, and then it'd be like, hey, do you want some trucks? Do you want some wheels? And so I'd help make that connection, and then it was like you give it some time, and it's like, hey, is anything happening? No, nothing's happening. And it'd be like, well,
something could happen over here.
We've got a whole lot of skateboards if you want to ride some. So it just kind of, I really attribute a lot of what we were able to build to Tom Asta being down to go for it.
Yeah.
You know,
I think it was an amazing move. Outside looking in, you're like,
Definitely.
It surprised the industry pretty much.
whoa,
What the hell's
Tom,
that?
for sure.
Yeah.
But then some things don't make sense at first. But then you see the moves, you see everything happening, and then you see the trajectory, and you're like, oh, it makes total sense.
I think everything that's new and different in skateboarding is always weird immediately.
Yeah.
Like everyone's
Totally.
like, oh, I don't like that. I mean, I remember, and I've thought about this so many times in so many different ways over the years, when Nike made their big push back in, they started, and so many people were just like, no, Nike, no Nike. And they just had to get through like a cycle of people, like a cycle of skaters, and then have this whole new generation come in and be like, oh, my mom bought me these Nikes because Nike's a skate shoe brand.
Yeah.
And it just takes time. All of it.
And it takes the correct skaters too.
Yeah.
To make that movement.
For sure.
P-Rod takes the Danny Supas and the Todd Jordans and the those people.
Brian Anderson.
Brian B.A.
Man.
And you guys also, first time I've seen a company do it really was like the True Greats. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Like actually telling a story about your riders. And I thought Chris always talk about it here, how much of a fan we are of that. Not a lot of companies do that. Santa Cruz being the one. Basically
storytelling.
Yeah.
We were always very appreciative of the kind words that you guys would say about all those pieces we would do.
Thank you, dude.
Because
we sent so many invoices over. And
I
none of them got filled. It
know.
was crazy.
Yeah. We would.
Lost in the mail, right?
We never saw them.
Oh, my bad.
It was weird.
Sorry, they were wrong address.
I think.
No, it's just, sorry to interrupt. It's just, this day and age especially, there needs to be good storytelling. Who are these people? Who are these skateboarders? You know?
Everybody is so fucking good.
Yes.
They are so good at skate. Like, you guys are so good. You're so good. Like, everybody, all the kids are so good. Why do we give a shit? And that sounds super lame, but it's like,
Totally. No.
what is different about this guy's, I don't know, whatever the hot, crazy trick is versus this one? It's like, how do you attach it and make that person human? Because we live in a crazy society now where everyone is like hyper connected and you can DM everybody and you can do that. But then on the other side, people don't actually have a ton of like real life interactions. And so like people are kind of starved to be able to connect. And so if you can connect with somebody, because you watch skateboarding on the internet and you're like, that's all absurd. But if you can connect with somebody and be like, oh, I also love that band. Or, oh, I'm really into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Or, you know, like, hey, oh man, Mario McCoy, you also skated like a relatively shitty skate park growing up. Hey, me too.
Right. It humanizes them too. Yeah.
Any way you can connect with people beyond, just really, truly, any way you can connect with people at this point.
Also, you guys not only did you tell the storytelling, but you did such a great job at the storytelling. You had whoever was working on those pieces were very good at it. And at the time, you guys are building up your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Which a lot of skateboard companies would definitely shy away from. And everybody's accepting it now, but there was a point in time where you're a kook if you're on YouTube, you know?
Big kooks.
And the companies especially.
Yeah.
Putting out stuff on YouTube.
So we got to just say Joe Perrin did an incredible job and continues to do an incredible job with storytelling with Santa Cruz. I mean, he was, you know, it was so fun because when I got in and started working with Joe, we worked on a lot of like core video pieces. Mm-hmm. And then it was like pushing Joe to do like more storytelling stuff. And at first he was even resistant. He's like, no, I don't know, man. That's kind of whack. And then over time, he got super fired up, and now he's phenomenal at it. I mean, he is like so good at helping tell stories. He knows how to interview people. He's just amazing across the board at it. Yeah. And it all goes back to Andy Schrock. Like, I remember sitting in Jeff Kendall's office and him being like, have you heard of Revive Skateboards?
And I bet your answer was no.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
And he goes, they are outselling all of us.
Combined in some cases.
And I was like, I felt like a deer in headlights. And I think that the info actually came from Don Brown. Yeah. Like, I think Don was like, oh, you've got to, you like told everybody like, hey, you need to check this whole thing out. And I remember like logging onto YouTube and watching some of it. And I was like, this is insane, but I get it.
Right.
And it totally blew my mind, and it changed everything for me personally. Because I was just like, as a skateboard industry, we're operating under this very like old school mentality of a skater comes out, they make a video part, they do an interview in a magazine, they do, you know, all the things that you are supposed to do to have a career. And Andy Schrock was selling insane boards. And he was literally just like,
who he was.
Yeah, he's just like, hey, what's up, guys? I'm Andy. You know, like, I'm doing this thing.
Yeah.
And it was working. And so we were like, we need to do that for Santa Cruz. And we have to do it without the like corny kiddie factor that Andy has. Yeah. And it was like, because what it showed is that there's a huge audience out there of people that just, they do want you to talk to them.
Yes.
And they do want to like find out some stuff.
Also, I think that Andy Schrock and like the whole Braille people like knew who their demographic was and everything, because like they're the ones who are getting kids to come into skateboarding.
Yeah.
Right? They're the ones that are like, especially Braille. Andy Schrock maybe had a little bit of a range of audience, but man, they were bringing the kids in.
Yes.
And then they were getting Revive boards. And then those kids were maybe then next buying a Santa Cruz board, buying a chocolate board, buying a girl board. So thank you to all the Andy Schrock and the Brailles, because they were the ones that were attracting new skateboarders.
Right. And people I think at the time were like, this is corny, this is lame.
100%.
But I mean, I don't know about you guys. Like, I started skateboarding because of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
No.
And it's like... No. There's a lot of people that started because of Tony Hawk. What did you start because of?
Because
I saw someone cool.
Man.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, but you grew up in California, right?
Yes.
See?
Yes.
I grew up in Glen Mills, Pennsylvania. You know, like so.
So wait, that was the first time you saw skateboarding?
Yeah, it was Ninja Turtles, and I was like, Michelangelo is the sickest.
That's amazing.
He was your Andy Schrock.
Yeah, he was my Andy Schrock, but. there's been Bam, there's been Tony Hawk, there's been, you know, all kinds of things. And I've always said, like, it does not matter what brings people in the door. Right. We just need people to come into skateboard.
Yeah.
You know?
Dub still hasn't figured out how to turn his phone off. The last episode, he threw his phone like halfway across the...
Dude, that's seriously...
Hey, Chris, can you give him the mute button again?
I can see it. It's filthy, you guys. Like, this is insane.
Dude.
Sorry to interrupt. It's actually pretty funny.
Oh, my God.
It's comical.
It's not opening. There it goes. Right there. Jesus Christ.
Sorry. Let's start this whole thing over. Hey, welcome to the show now.
Hey, thanks, guys. Great to be here. No, really, it was just Andy Schrock was nothing. He's nothing different. No, Andy brought people into skating, just like Tony Hawk, just like Bam, just like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, just like all these different things. And so I think what we're lacking in skateboarding right now specifically is we don't have people bringing skaters in the door.
Sure.
You know?
Right. Yeah. Also, we've talked about it on the show many, many times also, but like, I don't know, you know, how mainstream skateboarding is and how accessible it is. I don't know, like, if a young me or young Jerron would want to start skateboarding because of how, like, accessible it is. For me, it was like, cool. Nobody knew. It was my own thing. It was my friend's thing. Like, nobody knew about it, you know?
I think skateboarding's still cool. It's just that there's so many other things you can do.
I didn't say it was cool, not cool, but like it had this like thing that it was like, ow. Like I had the only hat, and then nobody else was wearing that hat.
Yeah.
And then as soon as everybody started wearing the hat, I took the hat off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's just because you're cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
God bless
I'm
you.
late to the party. Always.
Well, he turned his hat around because of you.
Dude.
You saw that?
Yeah.
Honestly, that's my wife. She's going to like that. She likes the hat backwards.
Yeah.
It's kind of her
she
thing.
does?
Oh, yeah.
Oh God. Okay.
That's right.
But why, though?
Oh, she likes the hat backwards. She thinks I look handsome in it.
Oh, okay.
And it works.
Did you like it the other way around, though?
I mean, it's okay. But when
so
you know what it was?
with the hat
I started
around.
taking photos. I turned this thing backwards and she was just like, whoof. And I was like, that hat stays backwards. I was like, here we go.
Well,
But it's also a sign of like I'm about to be serious. I'm putting my head backwards.
Let's talk business.
Yeah. Oh, like P-Rod style where he would just used to like talk into it.
Oh yeah.
Man, so many minutes of our lives at SLS, just like with him, just like.
Into the hat. Oh yeah.
He doesn't do that still, does he?
No.
Okay.
But it was totally
It was
a thing for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
So
wild.
when you get the whole YouTube thing going, and it's funny because people come on our show and just for fun, I discovered Andy Schrock. We discovered him when we started doing the show like 9 years ago, and this whole new world opened up. And we would ask people, come on, and be like, hey, have you heard of Andy Schrock? No. Andrew Reynolds? No. Tom Asta? No.
Jack Curtin?
Jack Curtin,
I remember
no.
we always would go into Roger's room and show him, and they'd be like, what? Just like you said.
And we're like, oh, by the way, these people are making probably like 40 to 50 grand a month just off YouTube.
That was the craziest thing to hear.
Number.
When you heard the number of, like, when you heard the dollar volume that these guys were bringing in, it was like, what the fuck am I doing?
Let me reformulate here.
Yeah. Like, oh my God.
So you wanted to take Andy Schrock's quote unquote formula, turn it into like a Santa Cruz style thing, and so that was kind of like your path. You wanted to go down that road.
Yeah. I was like, as a brand, I was like, we are in this unique position because we're trying to make the brand relevant. We're trying to do the right stuff. But there's plenty of people out there who are like, who gives a shit? You know, like nobody, like, I don't care about Santa Cruz right now.
Sure.
And so you're like, okay, cool. We only have room to go up. And we had put out videos and stuff like that. We just aren't in a spot anymore where like putting out a video is going to completely,
move the needle.
Yeah. And so we just started diving into it and we were like, hey, let's try to not be super over the top about it. Let's try to tell some stories. Let's try to like bring people in because people just want to know like what's happening behind the scenes. What are you, how does it all work?
Yeah.
And so we just tried a bunch of different things. I mean, at one point we were doing these like screaming vlogs and we would do them like, I think we did one a week. and I was doing product challenges, and we did, we're obviously True Grits, but those took a ton of time and energy.
Those are like a polished.
Yeah.
But you were doing a lot of the board stuff.
Yeah.
Like that was you.
Yeah. And it was because I was like, I don't care. Like plenty of people already look at me and go, that guy's a kook. I don't, and that's just the honest truth.
When you walked in the door, that's exactly what I thought.
I know.
You know?
I just knew, I was like, look, I don't actually have like, it doesn't matter if people look at me and go like, why is that dude doing that? I was like, we have a lot of product we make. We just need to share it.
Right.
And so it was like, all right, let's just try it and see how it goes. And it actually worked. And I mean, even still, like even that last sales meeting that I went to before I got let go, they were like, hey, what's like the most, like the marketing that's working the best? And like the sales reps were still like, the product challenges. And that was the case for a long time.
Right.
And so then I just basically parlayed that into being like, well, fuck it. Now I can review everything, you know? So I'm just doing that myself.
It's funny because I think a lot of people get kind of concerned. Well, here, you know, they say, oh, this is whack. Oh, that unboxing video is whack. Oh, that board review's whack, whatever. But the thing that they're missing is that it's not for you. That content is not for you.
These sponsored skaters are not going to watch my content?
Yeah.
Like, duh.
It's for somebody else, dude.
Yes.
Like, don't get it twisted, right?
It's also, everything is whack until it's not.
Sure.
Right.
And like, we know so many skateboarders out there are like, we don't like that? No, that's not cool. Okay, no, don't do that.
Right.
And,
They're looking around.
So true.
Oh.
and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, they did it? Maybe. I've always said, I'm like, dude, the moment that like somebody like an Andrew Reynolds or like Cater or somebody that like is everyone's like, nope, they're cool, 100%. The moment they lean in and just like do YouTube, it's fucking over.
Sure.
Like it is just game on, because then everybody will jump on board. Because there's just like, you know, the first through the wall always gets the bloodiest.
And the Kool-Aid Man. And
Yeah.
They quench their thirst. They quench their thirst. But it's true, though. I mean, like, when Tom, like, everybody, oh, it's corny, oh, YouTube skater, and then Tom Asta comes along, and you're like, oh, dude. This is good.
He's
legit. You know, like, he's a legit skateboarder.
Yeah. Oh, damn.
And super authentic.
Yeah.
He's just exactly himself. He's like, oh, man, shit's kind of whack. And you're just like, cool. Like, all right.
Do you... As Tom doing that for Santa Cruz, was everyone stoked at Santa Cruz that he was doing the YouTube videos? Or they were like, hey, we want him to do more video parts or something like that. What was the talk like there?
I mean, I think that in general, everyone was like, dude, he's getting it, you know? There's always like I think depending on who you talk to, some folks just skew a little more core and some are like, more, no, it's about kind of getting those views and stuff like that. But I always looked at him and was like, dude, you're killing it.
Yeah.
Like, this is awesome. You've totally found your lane. And what was amazing was, and this is the fun part about not working there anymore, is I can talk about this stuff. Tom actually he didn't sell a ton of boards. Yeah. Like, he was never like a big seller. Tom was always just somebody that, like, again, he had that resume of like those great video parts, and he was, I think, universally people were like, Tom's kind of unfuckwittable.
Yeah,
you know?
and when you need something from him, he delivers on time every single time.
Yes,
I think it's hard to deny a respectable skateboarder doing something like that. You know what I mean? Especially like the caliber that he's doing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He's giving you good content, and it's like, how could you deny that?
Well, but even before that, like it was just like, he was so good, and I think everybody knew he was so good, but he still was not selling like a lot of boards.
We see a lot of skaters like that that are so good, but the board sales aren't that. But again, like, who's selling a lot of boards these days?
Eric Winkowski. But this is the cool. This is the cool part. Is that he started selling boards. Yes. And it was once he jumped into the YouTube world. And once he got super consistent and he was putting out more and more content, and you see the subscriber base. It was like I have chills. That'll happen probably a bunch. But like, it was so amazing to be like, holy shit, it works. Like, it actually works. More people are talking about Tom Asta. More people are buying Tom Asta. They're pre-booking more Tom Asta boards. And he went from being always on the bottom half of the list. He was the highest, like, selling popsicle, like pro popsicle. It was insane. And it's all because he leaned in and went for it.
You know why, though? I think out of every platform, I think YouTube is the platform where you could actually build a community.
Exactly.
I don't think you could build a community on TikTok. I don't think you... Instagram is still the skateboarders platform, right? It's just, you're just on Instagram, you post whatever, but like on YouTube, it's a different thing, man. Like, you really connect with people and the community will back you 100%. It's crazy.
YouTube is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's like, it's, I mean, thankfully, a lot of companies weren't like, we're going to jump in there and do it too. Because it gave us a, you know, like...
It's your own lane.
Yeah, it gave this
advantage.
Opportunity when at Santa Cruz to be like, let's do this stuff. And so we did it and it totally worked. And we were lucky because we were cranking on YouTube as far as just putting out content, and like some of it was hitting, some of it wasn't. But I'm very much like a throw a bunch of shit at the wall, see what sticks.
It's YouTube.
Yeah,
4,000 views. The next one's 20,000 or 200,000. You're like, what?
You're like, okay, that's nice. And I mean, the Judy Oyama video, we put it up. It was maybe, I don't know if it was last year or the year before. It was like we did this video with Judy Oyama. And Judy has been around for a long time with Santa Cruz and NHS. And she basically, Alex White went and did a video with her, and and Ministes was there, and they just like kind of talked to her about skating, and they showcased her. I mean, I think she's 63 now. And we put the video up, and this video, we should look at how many views it has on it.
600 something thousand.
Dude, it was...
Sick.
We did this video and we were like, man, I really think this one's going to hit. And I think it got like 10,000 views or maybe less. And we were like, that's a bummer. We really thought this was a cool story and people were going to be interested. It was probably 3 weeks or a month. And then out of nowhere, it was just like, and that thing just started going off. And for me, what that did was I was like, I've always said, like, your YouTube... You're just building a catalog.
Sure.
And so you bring people in the door and they go, oh, well, what else do they have? Yeah. And then you hop in there. I mean, you guys probably see it all the time.
Yep.
Oh, I like this person. I watched this episode. Well, who else do they got?
Yeah.
And so this was just crazy because it went off. And so, man, I'm kind of losing my train of thought here. But basically...
Well, just some videos get 4,000 views, some get 200,000, 600,000. But also we are, you know, in YouTube, which it's their algorithm.
Yes.
Right? So it's like there could be, you know, just some type of surge that people are watching that video in particular, and YouTube's like, oh, a lot of people are watching this video, the whole thing. Let's push this out.
Yeah.
And then boom, 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 boom. So yeah, it's funny how it works.
But it was weird because it happened later.
Yeah.
And that was very abnormal. I think maybe what happened was I think it got picked up by like a news thing, maybe in, you know, another country.
Right.
And it just like triggered the algorithm and then it just went nuts, you know?
I love that.
I mean, it's just, the whole thing is so interesting.
Yeah.
And for us, it was amazing because we were putting out a lot of content. The pandemic hit and we were immediately like, okay, we just got to keep going. Like, everybody's going to be at home. We just got to keep going. So we took like old content and we did like voiceover stuff over it. We were just like, how do we make this work? Right now, this is going to be our strategy. We're just going to lean into it. And we did. And it was amazing because the content was working and it kept all of us busy, which was really nice, like mentally in that time, because there was obviously so much uncertainty.
For sure.
And then when the faucet turned on and people started buying stuff,
Yeah.
we were just like, and it was unbelievable.
I'm sure.
I mean, all of skateboarding was the same.
Thriving. Yeah.
But man, It was a moment.
Right.
What a time. What a time.
Yeah.
So not only like all the YouTube stuff, right? But because we were talking like, what was the first thing that you did when you got in there? And it was like, oh, we got Blake Johnson on, and then Tom Asta, you know, and all this things. And now you're talking about like the YouTube and pumping out all this content and stuff like that. I'm sure there's like so many other things that like a brand manager that you're like dealing with on like a daily or monthly basis, right? Of like, it's not only content.
No, I just loved that side. But man, we were doing crazy stuff. Like we were still doing Star Wars stuff. Like
Oh yeah, you guys had crazy collabs and shit.
dude, we've done so much crazy stuff. Like, you know, it's funny. Like I say, like we've done, but I'm like, I'm not part of it anymore, right? Like, so I'm just like,
You were part
we
of it.
had done so much crazy stuff. It was like, I remember sitting at Lucasfilms around a table that was like bigger than this whole room, like long, and just sitting there with like all these people from the Star Wars team and being like, this was my first like marketing pitch. And I'm like,
Let me guess, you were dressed just like you are right now with shorts and sandals on.
I'm wearing shoes for you. Otherwise, and it was crazy, right? Like you're just like, I'm at Star Wars. This is nuts. And then at one point it was like we had a Star Wars collab happening at the same time as a Marvel collab, and it was like you're just I mean, because with all of those, there's so much time and energy that goes into them. It's like we're talking. It can be a year and a half from the start of a conversation. It could be 2 years from the start of a conversation to like now the product comes out.
I've heard that sometimes the collabs are nightmares too. Because like the other company you're doing a collab with has such strict guidelines of what they want represented, what they don't want represented, what pictures, color, like down to like everything.
Everything is crazy. Yeah. And we like it was very much like we work with partners that understand the brand.
Right.
And so like you didn't work with companies that like didn't understand Santa Cruz or didn't understand like what it was. You always had to have an advocate in there. But even then it's still crazy because like you would do marketing things and you'd have to send them in or you'd have to get on the pitch and like, okay guys, here's what we want to do. And they're like, okay, yeah. Can you make a storyboard? Can you do this? Can you do that? So there was so much time and energy that went into every single one of those. But the licensing side was actually some of my favorite because I think that, I think what was so cool about working at Santa Cruz was I wasn't just the same person every day. And it was like, I would have gotten, I think, really bored if I just did core skateboarding only. And it's just because, you know, then you're relying on team riders to get footage and you're just like really focused on like, how do we make this cool? Everything's about like, how do we make it cool? Whereas we were like, okay, how do we make the team rad? Like we always wanted to have a really good group of people that could get in the van together and rip and skate everything, but also get in the van and like be friends. Like we wanted to create a little family. And I really think that, you know, we did that, which was pretty special.
Yeah, that's right.
But then it was like, well, now I'm on a call with Pokemon, and now I'm on a call with, you know, people from the UK or from Australia because we also like there was licensees globally as well. So like I just got to learn so many different things. I mean, we were doing our, you know, the financial meetings and all that stuff. Like when I started there, Bob Dyrdek, who was the CEO and then he retired, he would call us like mini CEOs because we were like, when I started, it was like product line management, working with licensing, marketing. There was like the fiduciary responsibility for like managing the budget and, you know, like doing the P&Ls and stuff. And so, I mean, I got like a really cool taste of all the different pieces and it made the job like really interesting.
Ah, that's nice.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like compartmentalized, like everybody had their own, like you guys were all a big unit, it sounds like. Yeah.
Absolutely.
When you're like doing when you're like or Star Wars, having a meet, do they have like a buffet, like little shrimps and like, do they have like a little platter for you?
Genuinely interesting.
Yeah.
Honestly,
he needs to know.
Yeah.
Some of them had good snacks. No, I'm just kidding. Honestly, the only one I think I went to was Lucasfilms. Oh. We actually did do a meeting with Nintendo.
Oh, I heard and it a nightmare.
Oh my God,
Nightmare,
it's
nightmare,
wild.
yeah.
Well, so it was crazy because
I thought you were making
No, for real.
at the time, it was, I want to say we went up there on like maybe March 6th of 2020. And it was like, there were all the rumblings of, like this, this thing and what's happening. And then it was like, I think the first case in America was up in Washington. So we fly up there to go do this like big pitch meeting with Nintendo. And, on the doors, it's like, if you're sick, do not come in. And everyone's like, we don't know what this is. Like, and COVID's like just beginning. And so we went up there and we did this meeting with these guys. And, as a company, you're always like, man, we want to be able to like use their IP. We want to have fun with it. We want to like mash a bunch of stuff together. And they were just like, no, you can't do anything. You can only stick with this version of Mario, and you can't cross the streams. And it was like, it was crazy
with their IP shit.
They're really, really particular with their IP.
Which kind of, I think it backfires for them because they're so anal about it that it's just like nothing goes through.
What was really interesting was we did approach them again to fire up the conversation and go, hey, let's see, has anything changed? Because it had been, it was years since we had spoken to them. And we're like, yeah, so we did this Pokemon one. It kind of went nuts. It sold out we got that gold Charizard, baby.
Charizard over there.
That's a expensive board right there.
Yeah, thank you so much for that.
Just trying to help, guys. Just trying to help.
Helps a lot.
So we were like, we did Pokemon. It sold out. I think it sold out it was like under a minute on the like Skate Direct. Wow. But like at stores, it also sold out like instantly. And so we get on the horn with them. We're talking to them about it. We're like, yeah, sold out super quick. What do you guys think? We could do like maybe a blind bag. And they were like, yeah, we don't, our customer likes to be able to go and buy that product. They want to be able to go to the store and get it. We don't like to create that kind of like a thing for our customer. We're like,
don't they open packs and
you don't want that insane experience? You don't want a moment?
Is it the same thing? I'm thinking?
Yeah, it was super interesting. And and we were just like, well, that's not what we want. Like, like at the time it was like, dude, we want to create cool global moments where people get excited, and like, yeah.
What's interesting with Santa Cruz? I'm just sitting here thinking about, and like you did have like rad collabs with people and partnerships and stuff like that. But sometimes companies overdo the collabs.
Yeah.
And it just becomes, everything's like a big collab. Oh, collab this, collab that. What the hell? What do they have now they're having a collab with undergarments? Like what? You know what I mean? Just the craziest shit.
It's such a fine balance.
But I never thought about that about you guys come to think of it.
They got a lot of collabs under their belt. For sure. Even some that I didn't even think that they did. I'm like, Santa Cruz did that?
Right.
Whether it be beer or Igloo or there's so many, dude.
Well, so there's multiple sides to it, right? Sure. So when we would do a big collab like a Marvel or a Star Wars, we always were like, you only do 2 a year. Like you do, and we usually had it, I think it was like summer and holiday is what we would plan.
Okay.
And so for that, we tried to keep it minimal because you can lose your brand identity so fast.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of brands, every drop is a collab.
And there are some that are super cool, right?
Yeah, sure.
But it's like, but who are you as a company? Right. And truthfully, like that's the stuff that I love. I think it's like so incredibly cool. But we also would license out the IP.
That's probably what it is.
So it'd be like, oh, Igloo wants to do something. Sure, here you go. Yeah. And then we would license to, we did so many different things. There was one, Fresh Paws, and it was like dog stuff. Like you could get like leashes and stuff like that. And it's like, great, here you go. Like here's a little revenue check that just hits.
Don't think a lot of skate
from
companies,
a licensing deal. Yeah, those are cool little deals for sure.
I don't think a lot of companies have that opportunity, dude. To be honest, Santa Cruz is probably the only one that would license themselves out. That's
it's
crazy.
A heritage brand.
Yeah.
Too.
Well, and NHS has a licensing department.
Yeah.
So like Paul Merrill, who I love you, Paul. We worked super closely the whole time. And that was his job. He had a group of people in there that all worked together, and he was reaching out to companies trying to line up licensing stuff. And it was wild. We did all kinds of stuff. Dude, like there's like creature bongs and stuff like that. Like it's
Just know that this is not normal for board brands. Like they don't have opportunities like that, or like a carved out area for to have licensing. People reaching out for licensing. That's just another extension of a great business that they set up.
And I think a big piece of that is, and I don't know like what came first on these things, but because they do license like brands around the world, it was like there are licensees for Santa Cruz in like Argentina and Brazil and Japan and stuff like that. So like they have that side of the business set up. So it's like you're already handling all that. Why not just throw in some like dog leashes and stuff,
What about this? Like, isn't there like Santa Cruz snowboards and bikes and stuff like that?
So Santa Cruz Bikes was different, and that was Rob Roskop and Richard Novak started that and did all of that stuff, and then they ended up selling it off. And then, which they sold it to this company Cervelo, or that company that owned this company Cervelo. And because I'm into like triathlon stuff, I have like a fancy little Cervelo bike, and at one point I got a free one just through like a dude that worked there. I think it was like a $10,500 bike.
What?
Yeah. And so when I got divorced, I was like, I'm selling that thing. I was like, need a little cash. But I was in a Cervelo ad in Germany.
Wow.
I went out with this guy named Ian, and he's the one that like ended up getting me the bike. And they came through Arizona, and we went and like did a ride in like the desert. And I was in a German Cervelo ad, all kitted out and everything, but you could barely see me. Like it's all so weird and wild.
You had like the glasses on and the whole spandex kit.
Oh
and
yeah.
everything.
Oh yeah. So
I could tell you because of the sandals. That's why I could tell it was you.
thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So Santa Cruz. I mean, I know this is very Santa Cruz heavy, but it was. I think
That was a huge part of my life. Yeah.
But what about like team stuff? Like you made the moves of like putting people on and stuff like that. But like
Had to kick people
I had to
off.
kick people off.
That's
Like
the tough part.
no, it's a whole.
Yeah.
There's
oh god.
It's not all roses over there.
No, not at all. I mean, when I came in, it took some time, and I definitely made some changes. Like, I think the first one was like we let Sid Melvin go, and then it was like Shuriken and Justin Strubing, and that was like a same day situation, and and that didn't go great.
Oh, wow.
And but like for that one, like I had to make changes, and so like I went to Jeff, and this is another example of Jeff being awesome. Was like, hey, we have to make these changes, but we can't just like kick these dudes off, like leave them high and dry, because that's one thing that I think is really fucked up about skateboarding is people don't take care of people and they don't communicate well. And
Communication
key.
is non-existent sometimes.
I'm not saying I have a flawless record. I'm just saying that we always tried. And so like for like Justin and Shuriken, I was like, hey, we need to give them something. And Jeff was like, all right, what are you thinking? And I was like, we should give them $1,000 for every year they were on the team. And he was like, okay, let's do it. And I was like, all right. So, we were
That's
able.
super dope. Sidebar, I think that is amazing because, again, you don't get hooked up after something like that. It's just like, all right, later, like not even handshake. Like,
and that's wrong because, I mean, like I had that experience. Like I had gotten told with like 2 weeks before the end of the month, like, hey, it's done. And I was like, how am I going to, like, I have a mortgage. That's so lame. Right. So, so we did that for those guys. And, I definitely caught a lot of shit online after that one happened, and it was not pleasant. But it happens,
for letting those guys go.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was tough, but it's a part of it all.
When you let somebody, like, how are you coming to this conclusion? And I'm not talking about just these guys, I mean, just in general. Like, if you have to let somebody go or make some changes like that, are you basing it off of like because you have a budget structure and you need to kind of, are you figuring out like, okay, we're paying this much, I have this much to work with, or is it like more of like, how you're moving forward, brand identity, who you want to be, kind of the face of the brand, like what's the backing behind all that? It's
such a huge mix because in a lot of those moments you're like, okay, here's what our budget is, but then you're also like, okay, who's getting shoes? Like who is getting shoes right now that can hopefully and potentially get some support? Who is showing up for things? Who's doing X, Y, Z?
And when you say shoes, it's like it's a big deal in skateboarding right now. It's like the board company is almost second because the shoe company is what is paying for the trips and what's really supporting the skateboarder.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so honestly, it was just a lot of factors across the board, and making those decisions always sucks.
Right.
Having to let somebody go sucks. And the difficult part is, and at that time we hadn't like cultivated a family, you know what I mean? It was like I was still the new guy
Still
and
building.
like yeah. And so those were just tough moments.
Okay.
But then, as you continue to progress, it's like you have to tell AMs like, hey, we're not going to move forward with you. But we kind of always maintained this like, pardon me.
You're pardoned.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We sort of always maintained this thing of like, we don't want to bullshit riders if we can avoid it.
Okay.
And so it was like when you've got a flow rider and you get to a place where you're like, we're not going to move forward, we would just have the conversation. Like,
That's amazing.
we'd be like, hey, we're just not going to do anything. We can totally still send you boards, but if you want to go have a career,
Right.
you should go somewhere else.
I love that.
that's
You
great.
got to be upfront as much as possible because you might be holding that kid back from another deal.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Even if they want to go be a C-tier pro over at World, they should have that opportunity, So we...
You got that connection, don't you?
Yeah, I know a guy. So we would always try. We would try to do our best to do that kind of stuff. And there were some really tough ones in the process, and some of them, like, you would try to communicate as effectively as possible, and you'd be like, "Here's your timeline. Here's when all this stuff's going to change," and it still wouldn't work, and friendships would get ruined, and those always suck.
Yeah, it sucks when they take it personal, and it's not personal at all. It's like sometimes it can be, but most of the time it's not. It's come to a time, like your time has come in that sense, and it's unfortunate.
I'm genuinely thankful to say there was never a personal.
Yeah.
Like I never had to be like, fuck that guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it was always like they're at a point in their career and there needs to be a change or something along those
Right.
lines,
Yeah.
It's
It's hard with skating too because it is such a close knit family, and we are in this. Like if you look at the skateboard industry as a whole, it's the size of a softball. Like
Yeah.
it's small, but outside looking in, it looks like this huge industry. But it is so small, dude. And so we are such an integrated family of people that everybody knows everybody. Even if you don't know that person, you know them. So it's tough to be like skating for somebody all these years and all of a sudden like have to be let go. It hurts.
Yeah.
It's very, very personal, I feel like.
Well, you know what that feels like now. Not to an extent, but you just got let go.
I got let go. Yeah, like I get it.
But I feel like maybe we'll get there, but there was a conversation involved with that, right? There was like it wasn't just like you woke up and you were gone, right?
I mean, yeah, a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah, there definitely was. But let's get to that. Let's talk more Team Rider stuff first, just because.
No, I love it.
I think the craziest part about having to let go of Team Riders is that some people get it, some people don't.
Right.
And so a great example is like Kevin Braun that one was so hard because I love Kevin Braun so much as a skateboarder, as a person. Like I've known him for a long time. And he was another one of those skaters that like was like, yeah, dude, I'm down. I'm going to come over. I'm going to do it. And he worked his ass off and he tried so hard and he did a great job. And then he unfortunately got kind of plagued by some injuries and he just couldn't get over the hump of recovery. And so, you give X amount of time. I mean, I think it was probably like a year and a half. We were like waiting and we're just like, man, we really want him to get better. And we were like, dude, we have to give you 6 months. Like if we don't get to this, like we have to make a change.
Okay.
And he was like, guys, I get it completely. And it was like, at first he was, the first time we had some conversations, it was tough. But then as time went on, like even when the final conversation happened, he was like, hey, I just want to be super, like, I love you guys. You guys are my friends. Like we're all friends. It's okay. I understand. And like, that was the hardest conversation to have because he was somebody that I care, so much about. And I was just like, oh, thank you. It was like the conversation version of a hug,
Right.
Yeah.
you know, and that was huge.
To have
Yeah.
that understanding for sure, because you never know what you're gonna get when you open that door. Like, if they're gonna be just, what the fuck? Are you serious?
And it is a crapshoot, man.
You're rolling
The
dice.
conversations that you would get on the phone and be like,
Yeah, and on the phone
What?
too. Yeah, dude, those are tough.
yeah.
I
And
think
then
the
on
more
the
personal-
follow-up text,
Yeah.
oof.
God, the layers.
It's like breaking up.
But what were you saying? The more personal, like,
What was I gonna say? No, the more personal you are with them, the harder it is, obviously. But yes, for them to have that understanding in the beginning is great, because obviously you feel better about the situation because they have an understanding that it's not working.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. We always tried to give a timeline of like, hey, you've got 3 months.
Yeah.
You've got 6 months or whatever. And some people were like, fuck, thank you, man. And other people were like, what? Me? Why? And they would get so pissed about it. And then you'd basically just get to this part at the end of 6 months where it was just like, you know, just kind of like, fuck you guys. And you're like, okay.
Has
I
there,
hate that.
has there ever been a time where you've given them like a 3 to 6 months and they've like come through and prevailed?
Most of the time when you're at that 3 to 6 month point, you're just like, hey, it's ending.
Yeah.
There are definitely people that you kind of have to give a little bit of a kick in the ass to at different times in their career. And
But I think what he's saying is like you give them 6 months and then all of a sudden they're putting out content, they're doing everything and they're like making it right and then you keep them on.
no, not really.
Okay.
And I think a lot of
you're-
it is just
yeah.
like you get to that place and it's like you get to that place for a reason.
It's hard to
Right.
it's hard to get it going. It's hard to crank that engine.
Because most of the time those conversations weren't out of the blue.
Yeah.
You know, like
Right.
we would be like, hey, you really should be doing X or doing
Yeah.
Y. And so you would try to give them a little of that, like the soft approach to start.
Like there was conversations leading up to that
Yeah.
6 months.
Because it's super important.
Totally.
Even pay cuts, I think, is
Those suck.
brutal because you know, as we all know, skateboarding's up, it's down, it's up, it's down. We are in a fucking downpour right now. And
Yeah.
it's flooding at the bottom, you know, and I don't know that many people pros. I know a lot of pros, but I'm just saying like, there's got to be a lot of everybody is probably on board royalties at this point. There's probably like a handful of people that are getting paychecks, salaries. Dub's shaking his head no, but
I mean, yes and no. I think there is some brands have small minimums, like, right? So they are getting a consistent check.
board royalties are actually like
No, like
salary.
you're going to get a minimum no matter what. So it's like a salary essentially.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay.
And whether it be small or majority of the time it's going to be small, right?
Yeah.
I'd say if anything, like, and this is a top tier brands, and I mean $2,500 a month right now is pretty heavy, like,
Yeah.
for anybody.
But imagine if you have like a team of 15 people, 10 people even,
Right.
and you're paying them just $1,000 a month. That's $10,000 a month.
But
that you
that's
need to
being-
pay
that-
for
but that's
payroll.
being done.
It's being generous at this
For
point
sure.
in time.
1,000%.
That's why I think a lot of people are on board royalties.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, Andrew, could you?
Yeah, give
agree
us
We were.
a
I
with
mean,
insight.
Santa Cruz wasn't on board royalties.
See?
Yeah.
It was like, and NHS specifically would do. You know, if you're getting paid, you get paid, but then they would do your royalties on top of that. They
Yeah.
weren't doing like a minimum at any time during my tenure there.
You had to like sell 1,000 boards to
No,
get
you
your
just
royalties,
they just
right.
got that no matter what.
You
and
got
then
you
royalties
got
on
it.
top.
Yeah. So you would get both,
Right.
which was awesome.
That's amazing.
You know.
Okay.
So I think it's.
I love that though. But Santa Cruz also, we're talking about a different beast. It's a big company. You know,
Solid
he's in
business.
he's in Star Wars, eating shrimp and stuff.
But the T-shirts, right? They're making.
I was never eating the shrimp.
I don't believe you. Dude.
the T-shirts probably generated a lot of money for the
Yeah.
skate team, probably, right?
Yeah, I was always like, rob from the rich, give to the poor. We're gonna take all that licensing money. We're gonna take all these T-shirt dollars, and we're gonna go like people are gonna go on trips, and people are gonna get paychecks, and do like we would do incentive too. And so it was like we would try to make sure to incentivize people properly. You know,
Would you talk to other brand managers and see how everything's because back in the day there was trade shows, right?
Yeah.
There was ASR and then Agenda and all this stuff, and we had an opportunity to all get together. Nowadays we don't have that. Everybody's got to pick up a phone to talk to other brand managers or owners or whoever it may be. Did you ever get together with other brand managers or owners and talk about like business stuff?
I would see people at like skate events, you know, because obviously I go to a ton of skate events too. But not anything crazy.
That's fast talk. That's
yeah. Well, not always. I mean, sometimes you sit down, you do the dinner, you kind of like talk through businessy stuff. But we didn't operate like every other skate brand though. So it was like you're kind of comparing apples to oranges, you know, because I mean, NHS as a whole, just like they operate like a full-on business.
Sure,
it's
you know?
wild.
Sure. It's amazing.
Amazing. What does it say? Someone's at the well-oiled machine. It is like it's gnarly.
It is. Yeah. I mean, it's incredible. You know, but that's why people go there and they stay there forever. Right. Like there are people that are straight up lifers at NHS.
Right.
I mean, if you get treated well, like not for nothing.
Dang, Kelly. But you know what? Like in truth, I knew it hit me and I was like, I'm not going to be a lifer. And I knew that. And that was like kind of going back to that conversation we, you know, kind of started is like, I knew that I couldn't be there forever because if I wanted to grow, like if you wanted to grow, you kind of had to be in Santa Cruz. And I lived there like the first, I lived there with my ex-wife for 5 years. I was there for like a total of 7. And it was tough. It was very difficult. It's very expensive. And I mean, we had twins. So like my ex-wife was a teacher. And so it was like, well, she could trade her salary to put the kids in daycare. That doesn't make sense. Wow. Like, so she stayed home with the kids. So we were operating on my salary, which was not like, you know, it was decent, but it wasn't like insane. And like I said, Santa Cruz is really expensive. And so it was like between that, it was like I had to do events as well to try to make ends meet. But at the time, like we were going to move, we finally were like, we're moving back to Arizona. And I will never forget, I was at the gas station in Watsonville near the house that we were renting.
In Santa Cruz.
Yeah. And this is like so sad. I was like, I didn't have enough money in my debit account to pay for gas. And because it like, you know, like, oh, $100 or whatever, right?
Sure.
And my credit card was totally maxed out. And I was like, I don't even have enough money to get to fucking work tomorrow.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Like it was so difficult to live there.
Crazy.
And I mean, obviously we chose to live that way because it was like my ex-wife stayed home with the kids. But it was just really difficult. So I knew like I never wanted to live there again.
Okay.
It's not a place for me. It's too cold. It's expensive. And then there's fucking sharks in the ocean. Like absolutely not. Great whites, go home. So it was just not the place for me, and that's totally okay. But it's a beautiful place. So if you're thinking about living there and you have a lot of money, you should definitely go do that. If you don't have a lot of money, good luck.
Yeah.
But I knew that wasn't going to happen, and so I had those conversations with Jeff because basically what happened is we did the 50th anniversary, and it went awesome. And my friend that I got connected with, this guy Ray Mate, who is awesome. He used to do
best.
Ray is the best.
Yes.
And Ray was he works for Timeless. He like helps those guys, and so they sponsored part of the event. So anyway, Ray and I are buds. We go golfing together. We're just like talking shop, and he's just cool.
Yeah, he's a great guy, man.
And so the 50th, I think we were at the 50th, and he goes, "Hey, so I'm talking to this guy Jason. Have you ever heard of Bad Birdie?" And I was like, "Yeah, I know Bad Birdie. They made these like loud ass polos, right, for golf." And they were like super different and wild. And he's like, "Yeah, they're looking for somebody to be like the brand director over there. What do you think? You should apply." And I was like, I mean, I'm down. He's like, "You need to meet him either way." So I get home from 50th, and Ray's like, "You got to meet him. He connects us." And then the dude Jason's like, "Yeah, let's get some food. I'm going to come to you." I'm like, "Okay." So I go, I meet him. We have coffee. He's like, "So what do you do?" He's, we talk through things, and he's like, I have this job. You should apply. And I was like, all right, I'm down. And that was the first time. I think I had been at NHS for going on 9 years. And it was the first time I'd ever talked to anybody like really about a job outside of that job. Because I was like, man, I got so much to do with Santa Cruz. We have so many things happening. And so I went through this crazy interview process with those guys. It was like we started in October and it went until literally the first week of January.
No way.
Like I think I went and did like 3 interviews and did like a couple presentations and all this different stuff. Wow. And finally they're like, yeah, we think it's good. And I was talking to this recruiter guy and I'm like, holy shit, is everything going to change? Because at that time I was like way into golf. And I had been dealing with a bunch of injuries, like my knee and my foot. And I was like, fuck, I can't skate. Like, I'm trying to find something else. And so I was really into golf. And I was like, oh, my God, this could happen. And then they called. And I'm like, okay, I think this is it. And he goes, they're passing. And I was like, he goes, you don't have the big brand experience that they're looking for. Because they were selling like Dick's Sporting Goods and, but what was really cool is they had like their own store and online and an app and all this stuff. And I was just like, I was sad about it because I was just like, man, that actually would have been really cool. There's so much opportunity because they have good sales, but they they had like their identity as far as their look, but they didn't have like a brand identity. And so I was like, ooh, this will be really fun to build out. So anyway, that didn't happen, but that changed things for me in my brain.
Okay.
And I was like, fuck. Like that was the first time where I was like, I feel like I got to do more, you know? And that was really weird because I had spent so many years putting like every possible thing I had into this brand. And I was like, I think I want to do something different now.
But was there no growth there for?
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
So there wasn't. So for a long time, it was like there was this like I don't know if it was like a director of marketing role or some like marketing manager or something like that. And early on, Jeff was like, "Oh, I can see you moving into that role," and so we had that conversation plenty of times. And I think he and my views on these conversations will differ, which is totally fair, but. I was operating under not assumption. I was operating under I could potentially grow into this role. And so I was like, yes. And so
the role again?
It was just a level in between.
Director?
It was like, it was like something. There wasn't even actually a role. It was this hypothetical role. And so it was in between Jeff, who was the CMO / CEO.
Okay.
And then the brand managers. Yeah. And so it was just like, okay, cool. That's like a natural, I was the most senior brand manager being there. And it was like, cool, I could step into this role that's not there right now and hopefully like, manage the brand managers and stuff like that. And when I kind of pushed on it further and I was like, hey, is this actually possible for me? It then became like a no. And I was like, oh. And it was like, 1, I don't live there, but 2, like I said, I mean, we were talking about this, I think beforehand, is like, I'm not for everybody and I'm very okay with that. Like I'm very cognizant of who I am at this point. And I think that my personality and sort of my view on skateboarding didn't necessarily align with everybody else. And so I just don't think the other brand managers would have liked me to be in that role, which is, again, totally fair. And so once I found out that was impossible, it was like, oh shit, okay, if I can't grow, I got to go. And so Jeff and I had those conversations of like, okay, I just told him because he always gave me an opportunity to feel safe in like my honest feelings about things. And I think that I also gave him an opportunity to be more vulnerable about things, and I was very appreciative of that relationship that we, had in that regard. And so I just was honest with him, and I was like, dude, because I care. I mean, I still care about Santa Cruz a lot, but I was like, I care so much about this brand. You need to know, like, I'm gonna have to move on. And so we had very good, candid conversations about it, and it was always like, hey, when the time comes, let's make sure that we both feel good about the ending. And I was like, that's awesome.
Right. And
so then what happened was basically, it was like, okay. And I mean, I was looking for jobs, but like, dude, it's a crazy job market right now,
Oh, yeah.
And it was a Wednesday morning and I was supposed to have a 1-to-1 with Jeff later that day. He's like, hey, move that one to 8:30. And I'm like, okay. So like I think I went and dropped the kids off at school, and then they were out of school. It was 8:30. Their mom had picked them up. So I hop on my meeting, and I pop on, and it's like a Teams meeting. And Lisa, who's in HR, is in there. And I just see her, and I just go, oh, shit. This isn't going to be a good meeting. And so it was just like, boom. And if you've ever let somebody go, there is like a script. I mean, it is like very robotic, right? It's just like, hey, as of today, you are no longer going to be with this company, and yada, yada. And they like cite like a reasoning, it was like, hey, lack of preparation for presentations. And I'm like, okay. And I just stopped him, and I was like, whoa, guys. Like, cause it was just very, very like cold. Mm-hmm. And I just was like, if this is the end for me, I was like, I need you guys to know that I love you. Right. Like, I appreciate everything like that you guys have done for me. And, like I wouldn't be the person I am today and stuff like that. And so I just was very real about my feelings. Yeah. And, they were really kind to me on the way out. And I even said I was like, hey, I know this is probably unorthodox, because what happens is somebody gets let go and then an email goes out, and the email, cold as shit. It's like, as of today, so-and-so no longer works at the company. And that's it.
Wow.
And I mean, Kelly, I don't know, did you see any of those emails like in that process? Or were you one of those emails? I don't even know. Like at NHS?
I can't remember. I think everything was so good that I don't think it was getting fired.
There you go. So, and I just was like, hey, can I send you guys a little something to send out to the company, And they were like, yeah, absolutely. And then when we got off the call, I like wrote something out, and just because when that happens, like I remember when it happened with Alex White and Cairo. And those guys, that was like, they were my fucking people, right. Like that one hurt me, because I was like, these are my people that I talk to and I get excited about and inspired by, and we nerd out on stuff. And those emails went out, and it's like, you have this weird, like, should I call them? Right. Like, do I message? How does that feel? And I was like, when it happened, I was just like, once they said that I had like a little severance, like I was just like, like, okay, it's time.
They weren't going to leave you high and dry.
No.
And I was really thankful, but I just wanted everyone to know, like, guys, I am not like some pariah or something like that. Like, please reach out, like we have been family for a super long time. Like, please know that I'm here.
Yeah.
And I remember getting off the call, and the first person I called was my dad. And I was just like, dude, like at the time I was like, so I like message back and forth with my wife all the time, and I get on the meeting and I just send her a message. I'm like, holy shit, I think I'm about to get let go. And she's like, what? And then it happens, and I'm like, dude, I'm getting let go.
Wow.
And she was like, what the fuck? Call me after. So I think I called my wife, and then I called my dad. And my dad was like, take a week. Like, cause he'd been through that stuff, and he was like, you're going to feel a lot of feelings, and just relax. And what I realized was, because a lot of people were like, when you lose your job, you kind of go through mourning. And I didn't. And it's because I realized I had already gone through it a year before. Because when I found out that I couldn't do anything like beyond what I did, right? Which you kind of get to a place where you're like, fuck, man, we've kind of done all the cool shit.
Yeah.
Like we've turned people pro. We've sold out of Pokemon in under a minute. We've done cool Nodish stuff. We've
eaten shrimp.
I'm a fucking vegan. But we've done all these cool things, and you're like, I don't know what else I can do that's going to like scratch that itch of like that next exciting thing. And so for me, I was like, dude, Jeff pushed me out of the nest. And I wouldn't have. Like, I would have stayed there because I have kids, and I would have just stayed there and kept I would have done the best I could with the motivation that I had. until I found a full-time job. And now what's really cool is because I got that severance, I'm like, dude, I have all this opportunity to do whatever.
Sure.
And so I was immediately just like, all right, what's possible? You know?
Well, wait, how's it been a nice severance?
You know what? They set me up for a little bit of time, and they hit me with a couple months. And
that's awesome, man.
so I was just
Very
like,
cool.
I was like, dude, it happened on like June 3rd or 4th. And we had the kids for like 20 days basically. And I was like, dude, I get to just hang out with my kids.
Oh, nice.
And I mean, I worked a lot, like doing a bunch of stuff, but I was like, I get to spend this time with my kids right now. And so I just looked at it like, man, it was a little gift.
Did you talk to Jeff afterwards about it or about the whole thing? Because like in my mind, it was like, why today? Why now? Like, why? I would have a lot of whys, I think.
I mean,
even though I knew it was coming, eventually
of course.
I would still have whys.
You know what? I didn't really have a lot of whys because, I mean, like I said, he cited like lack of preparation for presentations.
Yeah, but I mean, what is that? Is that
and I'm like, but really what it was is, because I had talked to a bunch of people and like, even talking to one of the big dogs over there, he was like, it just seemed like you were 1 foot out the door. And I was like, I was. Right. Like I was 1 foot out the door and I was still putting everything I could into it. I just didn't have as much as I used to.
Right.
And that's a shitty place to be because when you're Santa Cruz and you're the biggest brand at NHS, you're like, dude, like Jeff had to look out for the brand.
Yeah.
He had to, in these trying times, it's like he's got so many people at NHS that he's got families attached to. And so he looked out for the brand and said, hey, we're going to try something different.
Yeah.
And so he pushed me out of the nest and here we are.
Who's the brand manager now?
They haven't gotten somebody sorted yet.
Let me call him.
Hey, how fast did you make that video to post online?
I did that. I think I did it in it may have been 2 days or it may have been a day.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
But it's because I was like, fucking skateboarding loves drama. Are you kidding me? I was like,
yeah, but it wasn't
dude.
a drama post.
No.
Nah.
But
And by the way, people that listening or watching that don't know what your post was.
they know. You know what it was? It was
No. I'm saying somebody that's listening right now,
people
they don't know what
that-
you
yeah.
posted.
So
was
basically
it?
what happened was,
context to it?
so I got let go. It was like a Wednesday. And I think it was maybe on Friday. What I did is I just filmed a video and was like, hey, I am no longer at Santa Cruz. I got let go. And the big picture was because I had put myself out there so many times through all the product challenges and stuff like that. I was like, I don't want people to think like that there's negativity
Bad
coming
blood,
from me. Yeah.
Yes.
And because I didn't, and I still don't feel that way, So I put it out there because I was like, one, skateboarding loves this kind of stuff. They just love a little drama. I made sure to make that thumbnail and that title pretty clickbaity, But I also was like, what that's going to do is that's going to spare me 8,000 conversations.
Sure.
And it's going to put me in a position where, like, because I'm like, okay, well, since then I've been like, all right, well, I'm going to consult for folks. Like, and I have a pretty wide range of skills as being a former brand manager. So I can do a lot of different stuff. And then I was like, I'm going to jump into doing more YouTube content because why not? I love doing it. It's super fun. And then it was like, all right, well, let's see if any opportunities present themselves.
Right.
And so I threw that bad boy out there and it did exactly what it was supposed to. And my aunt works in HR for like big companies. And I was like, hey, Mar, I was thinking about popping this up there. And she was just like, no, don't do that. That's a horrible idea. Oh my God, you don't want to talk about your old job, move on. And I was like, yeah, but skateboarding's different.
It is. Yeah.
It's like, it's our community. It's like,
It's very small.
it's
Softball.
It's that softball.
Yeah.
But it's also like, it's when somebody gets let go, you're like, what the fuck did they do? And I was like, I just wanted to be like pretty upfront about it.
Sure.
So
I thought it was such a rad post, dude, sidebar, because you were so vulnerable and you expressed what happened. You know what I mean? And usually people do not do that. So I definitely commented on that and made sure that I was like, dude, it was a great move.
Well,
Thank you.
the other side of that is you make a post saying like, dude, fuck these dudes. You talk all this shit, and then who the fuck wants to hire you after that?
Yeah, that's the
The amount of people that have done that is crazy.
That's the worst way.
Oh, he doesn't have a job. Let's hire him. That's a great video.
I can't wait to let that person go, because no matter what, it's like every single person. It's like you're either going to quit, you're going to get fired, or, and this is morbid, or you're going to die. You know what I mean? It's like that's how these things end. You know? Right. So yeah, like let's hire the guy who was an asshole online. He seems cool.
That's amazing. This is great. That's a great job resume.
So wait, has anything come from it in the sense of like maybe an opportunity or anything?
So I've been consulting for some folks. I've been doing some stuff with Jamie Thomas with Warsaw. Okay. I'm talking to a couple different companies about it, and the fun part is I have time. So I'm just like, dude, I want to work with anybody who's interested in building out YouTube, building out brand story, strategy, all that stuff. Like, I think that stuff is so much fun. And so I'm just kind of doing a mix, and it's still relatively early on it. But so I'm doing that. And then I'm also working with Ryan Clements and George, and I'm going to be an agent for skateboarders, which I think is going to be really fun.
You're hired.
Thanks, guys. We're ready to go.
Just going to talk to Tom.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tom.
Sorry, Tom, you're out.
So that's been cool. And then obviously still announcing a bunch of skate events. And then I'm doing, the YouTube stuff. Yeah. But then my buddy Chase, who is the singer of this band, Gate Creeper, he lives in Phoenix. They're like death metal band. They tour the world. They kind of do the whole deal, but he's a skater. We've done a bunch of pieces with him on YouTube. And with the amount of people from bands that hit us up at Santa Cruz and we're like, yo, can you make us some boards? We're going on tour. It was like, no, sorry. Like, we can't. Collabs are a year and a half out. Your tour's in, 90 days. Like, that doesn't work. But so he and I are going to, we're working with a company to help facilitate that.
Okay.
So we want to just be able to be like, hey, you're going on a tour? Cool, man. We're going to make sure you have good quality skateboards.
Good. Yeah.
That's rad.
So,
wow. What a journey.
I know,
it's crazy.
Dude.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people were shocked when you put that post out on Instagram. And I was like,
I was shocked.
Yeah.
Well, dude,
I didn't expect it.
I want to shout out JC, dude. We like a week before we were in here, and he's like, "Dude, do you hear Andrew Cannon got let go?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He like literally the post like, "I've been here for 11 years. Thank you." Like literally the post before the last one you did was about how you were there for 11 years, how thankful you were, how happy. And then 3 days go by, and then you put out that video. I was like, "You fucking jinxed him, dude." But that was crazy. Gave him the middle finger just now. No, but yeah, it was crazy that like that timing of being there for 11 years and then that happening right away. But I always looked at it. I hit you up, but I really thought that there was something bigger for you in the picture coming up, and I think this was that right time for you.
I'm genuinely thankful because I'm excited about all the new things. And so like I said, we talked about it earlier. It's like throw a bunch of shit at the wall, see what sticks. Sure. If an opportunity came along to like do brand management or something along those lines, like I would absolutely, entertain it. But I do love the idea of doing a bunch of stuff and trying a lot of stuff right now. Right. Because thankfully like events are good, like that's, decent money. It helps. Mm-hmm. And then honestly, like I've actually been like, dude, maybe I'll just get my sub certificate again and go back to doing some substitute teaching just because it's like super easy. Work whenever you want to. It's like, yep, they just pay you per day. And I could just sit. God, man, subbing is crazy. But like, I can just sit there and edit.
What grade? What are we talking about?
So, okay, before I would sub high school.
Oh, God.
So, dude, crazy as shit. So, I'm doing subbing. This is way back in the day when I was like
I didn't realize
skating.
Anybody could just get their sub.
Well, not anybody can. I had my education degree. Man,
just anybody.
They just let anybody. They're like, God damn, dude, we pay teachers so miserably. Just please come, somebody.
I'm kidding.
So I was subbing one time, and I'm in this class, and I was like, all right, you guys have a computer assignment to do. I have a book to read. We'll just all be cool. I'm going to read. You guys do your thing. We'll talk in 45 minutes. And so I get up at one point
It's a good teacher.
Yeah,
And I've had plenty of substitutes, okay? I know what people want. Yeah. And so I walk behind a student and I look at the screen and I go, oh my God. I'm like, you cannot be Googling that right now. And this girl turns around and looks at me and she's like, and on her screen it just says 2 girls, 1 cup. And I was like, what? Absolutely not. I was like, do you even know what's in that video? She's like, no, my friend told me to look it up. I was like, you don't want to watch that video.
Oh my God. You know, guess what? I want to watch that video now.
Oh God.
No, but you know what I mean though? You say something, you say you can't watch it. They got, now
I know.
Now intrigue hits. And
I really hope you never watched it, girl, from that computer class. I thankfully have never seen it. But subbing is just like crazy. And
yeah.
I'm just in a spot where I'm like, I want to figure out what that next sort of step is for me, because I like a lot of different stuff and I am very thankful to have a bunch of skills from that role. I just don't know, like you can't work at Santa Cruz and then be like, let me just go brand manage another hard goods brand.
Right.
Well, you can't do almost anything. I mean, you did a lot of commentating and stuff like that, but once you're in something, it's hard. You comfort zone, all this stuff. You just kind of.
And I live in Arizona.
Yeah.
So like, and my kids are there, and so I'm tethered to Arizona.
Okay. Right.
So it's like, yeah, I can definitely work remote. But what's cool is all the things that I have set up right now. I'm like, I'm down to travel. I'm down to do whatever. But I'm just having fun with it.
I love it, dude. I love it. And I think as far as the commentary goes, you're very good at it.
Yes.
Thank you.
I think,
definitely.
and there's one instance where, when the first Olympics came around and the commentating, and I don't know which commentating people watched because there was 18,000 different feeds of skateboarding.
It was nuts.
The feed that I watched was horrible. It was a couple guys saying Steve Caballero and a bunch of, it was a mess. They knew a little bit. I'm not going to, I'm not going to knock them too hard, but your name, I kept saying your name because I was like, dude, we have so many fucking talented people in skateboarding. Like, use us to talk about the stuff that we live and breathe. Don't bring in 2 fucking canoe riders to come in and talk about our sport.
Yeah.
Quote unquote sport. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to say that you were one of the names that I kept saying because you're good at it. You embrace skateboarding. You are a skateboarder. World Industries. You know what I mean?
Come on.
Does it get better? Industries guy?
World Industries guy. Yeah. No, but you know what I mean though? Like that was one thing that really angered me. It was we have so much talent in skateboarding, dude. And the Olympics was just pulling people in just to do some bullshit commentary.
I definitely had feelings sitting on the couch at home.
I'm glad you did.
I'm
glad you did. Yeah.
But
I thought you should have been in there. Paul Zitzer was there with somebody else. That was great, but he was on a different. Like I said, there was 20,000 different feeds, so it was kind of it was a fucking mess.
It was pretty wild overall.
Yeah.
But it was I think it's all cool. I'm glad people are having the opportunity. But I genuinely love doing it.
Yeah.
I think it's so much fun. Like I get so excited to go to the events and be able to be a part of it, and
it looks very easy for you because you enjoy it. You know what I mean? And you streamline it. You just take it for what it is, and that's great.
When you start, there's the announcer voice. Everybody starts, and they're like, "Hey, everyone, welcome back!" And you just do the dumb thing in the back, and you can't even help it. You're just
"Hey, everybody,
you start the conversation. Back. You're like, "Hey, Chris, it's so good to see you," and you're like, and then they're like, "We're on air," and you're like, "All right, everyone, we're here," and and then you just get comfortable and. I mean, you guys, I'm sure, deal with it all the time. There's always the keyboard crusaders that just want to speak negatively and talk shit and stuff like that. But at some point, you just go, it's not easy. And a lot of people, people don't even want to talk in front of their family or most people won't even get up and karaoke. You know what I mean? It's let alone talking to a TV.
Right.
So. At some point, you just kind of go, who cares?
You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna be an idiot.
And when you talk all day, then you're bound to say something dumb.
Yeah, for sure. Even with this show, it took me so long, from the very beginning to episodes later on to not give a fuck anymore, because I was editing them. I didn't want to, I licked my lips right there. Oh, I look like that. Oh, let me take that out because I just sound like a fucking moron, And after a while, I'm just like, who cares?
Yeah.
Let me just live my life, and I'm going to sound however I'm going to sound to whoever's going to fucking receive it.
How did you even get into that and to know that you were actually good? Because it's not like, hey, Andrew Cannon, come and do this. How did you get into that?
Starting announcing was really funny because I think it was, so basically Neil Hendricks was working at Woodward and he was like, hey, we're doing a contest, just a contest for kids. You should come announce it. You're funny. And I was like, okay. And so they brought me out and they were like, we'll pay you a day rate, whatever. And I was like, okay, this is crazy.
East or West?
West.
Okay.
So I drove out from Arizona. I went and I just had fun with it. I mean, it was a bunch of parents and stuff. And so, just being silly and having fun. And Mike Sinclair was there. He was judging. And Neil was there. And so when it got done, both of them came up to me and were like, hey, at the time Neil was doing stuff with Dew Tour, he's like, you were good at that. I'm going to talk to Dew Tour about you. I was like, okay. And then Sinclair was like, you were good at that. I'm going to talk to X Games for you. And I was like, okay, dude. Sure. And so it worked out with Dew Tour. And basically they brought me out and they had me just live event sidelines guy. And I was like a rodeo clown. It was literally they'd be like, all right, now I'm up in the audience and I've got 2 Mountain Dews. We're putting them on our heads. Let's see how long we can make them last. But I was like, yeah, whatever, man. This is insane. They're going to pay me
was
for
a red nose.
For real. And I was like, yeah, I'm down to do that. I don't care. And so we did it. And then it would be like, okay, somebody won. And then I'd get to interview them. And so there were ties into skating and I'd get to do these little sideline interviews with people. But it was also definitely silly, t-shirt cannons and stuff like that. And so I started doing that. And then basically at the time I was working for ESPN's skateboarding website and I was doing interviews with people. My buddy Adam Salo worked there and he hired me. And so I would just do interviews and do little articles and stuff like that. And I went to the first SLS and that happened in Arizona. And I think now I skipped ahead a little bit, but basically it was I did a bunch of sidelines. And then at one point they were like, hey, we need somebody. Do you want to hop in the booth and announce and call tricks? And so it was me and I think Brad J. And he was, by the end of it, they were like, damn, okay, you know what you're talking about, huh? And I was like, I mean, yeah, I'm a skateboarder. You guys don't even understand. I was on the worst iteration of World Industries, okay? Come on. I know my stuff.
Wait, this was they were just hey, we need someone. You were just there and they had you.
I don't even remember exactly how it happened, but they popped me up in the booth and they just were like, yeah. And I was like, okay. And so from there, they were like, hey, maybe you should help out with the live event, trick calling and stuff. And I was like, I'm down. I'm down to do anything. And quick life trick, just say yeah.
Right.
When people go, do you want to try that? You're like, yeah. Obviously be safe. But it tends to work. Mm-hmm. And it's literally why I'm sitting here. Is you just go yeah, sure. So I did that. And then I went to the first SLS to report on it for ESPN. Mm-hmm. And I meet Brian Atlas and we get done it. And he's like, all right, hey guys, I'd really love some feedback. And so at the time it was just Felix announcing.
Oh, wow.
Only Felix.
Felix.
One Felix.
Yeah, Felix Arguello.
Yeah.
And it was no music. It was quiet. It was wild.
And was he announcing to the house and also online or just to online?
He was announcing to the house.
Okay.
And then I think what would happen is afterwards they would tape it. And then I think maybe Dyrdek and Barra would go and do all the stuff over top. It was very early days.
Okay.
But so Brian asked for feedback and I was like, dude, the contest was pretty cool. It was a little quiet. It was a little slow, whatever. And I was like, and I really think you guys could benefit from a second announcer. I actually have been doing that for Dew Tour. And so dude, he ended up just giving me a chance.
Wow.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
And it took a little while and like a bunch of emails back and forth, but he gave me a chance.
Brian Atlas?
Brian Atlas. Yeah. And so then I got in there and I was doing that. And that was a wild experience because like Dyrdek was in it and he was super serious about it in the beginning. And I remember I got in trouble a few times. And
What? Tell us.
I got in a little bit of trouble.
What happened?
One of them was, this one wasn't like a trouble situation, but it got brought up the next day. It was like Tommy Sandoval. I mean, Tommy, you know, like big mustache, had the hair, the whole nine. And he had a shirt that had like a Rastafarian lion on it. And I was like, Tommy Sandoval dropping in next, looking a whole lot like the t-shirt that he's wearing. And it was just like silly, right? Like nothing exciting. And Vern comes up to me later and he's like, yo, that was dope. That was the only thing that made me laugh today. And I'm like, oh, sick. Thanks, Vern. And then we get to the meeting the next day and Rob like kind of starts talking to us like, okay, guys, we're really going to focus on this and we're going to do this. And he's like, and we're not worried about what anyone's fucking t-shirt that they're wearing is. And da-da-da. And I was just like, oh shit. Okay. So that I got in trouble there.
Oh my God.
And then I did get in trouble and I deserved to get yelled at for this one.
So it was indirectly. It wasn't like
that one was
did it.
indirect.
Okay.
The other one was more direct. And I definitely should have gotten yelled at. But I was doing the intros. And I'm so sorry, Sheckler. But it was like I was doing the intros and I was like, you've seen him this, you've seen him that, you've seen him double pitch to Chesty. We've got Ryan Sheckler. And Rob ran over and it was like steam coming out of his ears. And he was like, what the fuck? That was fucking stupid. That was fucking stupid. And it was, just so we're clear. I was in the wrong, but I got in trouble. Yeah. And I was like,
Gosh.
whew, you know.
And that was like an instant effect, right?
Oh, man. Yeah, that was.
Instant feedback.
Yeah, that was instant feedback. Very well deserved.
Wait to the meeting.
No, that one wasn't the meeting.
I will say this, though. I feel like Dyrdek wanted an ESPN vibe. He wanted kind of the suit and the really professional announcers at that. He wanted Street League to be that. He
Absolutely.
wanted it to be this high caliber, like, you know, baseball game, Vin Scully announcing or Chick Hearn. He wanted that type of atmosphere.
For sure.
Yeah.
He did. And I mean, dude, they did such a great job of like building that out. And it was like, it's wild to think back on like those early ones to like where it's at now and be like, oh my God, this is nuts.
Well, it's very laid. It's not laid back now, but to me, those very polished things that Rob Dyrdek wanted was wrong. In my opinion, because skateboarding's fun. It should be fun. It should be lighthearted. You know, it should be the double pitch to Chesty. It should be the looking like his shirt type thing. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be like,
but
well, now
Tampa.
we coming up to bat.
Yes.
We have, his batting average right now is 425. He's from San Clemente, California. We have Ryan Sheckler.
But
it
I
shouldn't
think
be like that.
I think there's space for all of it.
Yeah.
And that's what's cool. Like, because like Tampa,
Yeah.
have fun, man. Do your thing, right? Like,
Right.
That's awesome. I like that SLS is I don't want to say, it is more serious. Like, I think for a while they were doing a lot more like fun, like silly videos. It is more serious, but like,
I think it's been a toned down though from the Dyrdek days to now.
So, okay, here's another good example. When I started doing TV, they brought me in and they gave me the shot to do TV, and it was Fox Sports at the time. And that was wild because, oh man, and that makes me think about the first time I met Jeff Rowley too. So I don't remember I think it was like before we went and did like a real event, they were like, come out to Fox Sports Studio. And so there I met Jeff Rowley. And I will never forget, Jeff and I are in there and I had not met him. Absolute hero of mine, right? You're just like, oh my God, I'm in the room with Jeff Rowley. This is crazy.
You say his name right, so that's
yeah. And so I'm in there and it's a common known thing, like among people that know me. I have a very small bladder and I have to pee all the time. Like I can barely make it through a meeting, And so we're at this thing and I'm drinking drinks, and we're like calling an entire street league. And I'm like, and Jeff's like, hey, do you mind if we take a break? I've got to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, fuck yes. So I'm like, all right, cool. Because I'm not going to be the guy that's like, can we take a bathroom break? Like the new dude. And so Jeff and I are walking to the bathroom. He's like, yeah, Andrew, you know, I've been street skating a lot and I've been just slamming so hard. So I've just been having to pee a lot more. Like, you know how that you slam so hard and you just like fuck up your body like that? You have to pee? I'm like, sure, Jeff. Like, okay. And this was a thing that happened multiple times with Jeff, where like he would be out filming for a part, and then he'd be like, oh, and then I slammed so hard, Andrew, you know, like this. And he's like, you know, when you slam so hard on your head and you do this. And finally I had to be like, Jeff, I do like ledge tricks and manual tricks, man. Like, I am so sorry. I cannot relate to these feelings.
For World Industries.
Like, I was like, I'm sorry, man. I don't know that feeling.
You do a great impression of him.
Yeah, that
Thanks.
was
really. I felt like he was here.
I'm fortunate to have gotten to spend a good amount of time with him.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're at the Fox Studios, and we're like fake calling this whole thing in this crazy room. And then it was like, all right, here we go. I think the first one was maybe Barcelona. It was either Barcelona or it was New Jersey. And if it was New Jersey, then it was the one where my ex-wife was like about to pop. Like I was there, and it was like, I might get a call and I might have to leave immediately.
Wow.
And so anyway, the first one, they're like, okay, send us your outfit and here's this and that. And you're like doing it. They're putting makeup on you, like doing the whole nine. And it was like so serious. And so there was a string of those that were like crazy serious for a while, where we would go back afterwards and they would just rip us a new one on like, you said this and you cannot say this. And we were just like, oh my God. And I got so nervous and so stressed out by it. I failed. Like I failed completely. And then they ended up bringing Zitzer in. And then they moved me down to sidelines, which I felt totally fine on sidelines. Oh, look at that.
Andrew Cannon, Jeff Rowley, and Felix Arguelles.
Damn, that was wild. I got to go out and have dinner with Jeff Rowley there and hang out. And like we walked out of this like Italian place after, and
He's great.
Jeff is amazing.
He's
but like
a good guy.
we walk out and fucking Tom Penny's right there. And you're just like, I'm just sitting there like this dude who is still just like this 11-year-old kid from Pennsylvania, just like, I'm watching Sorry in person. Like, I was like, this is crazy, you know?
Yeah. No, you do a great job, dude. I think I announced with you one time. It was at the SLS. Was like a primitive thing. Yeah. No, Volcom.
Was it the Volcom
I think
one?
it was Volcom. Yeah, it was Volcom.
Yeah,
I did the primitive thing.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, but I don't know if we didn't sit with each other, but we definitely, yeah.
Were you doing sidelines at that one?
I think so.
Yeah. It's fun because we've all gotten to interact at these things in all these different ways.
Yeah.
And they're super enjoyable. But I know like
right here.
Is this us?
Yeah, Volcom.
Look at us.
Whoa, dude.
I'm telling you how it is.
Look at you guys, man.
Wow. Deshaun, Chandler, Arizona. Yeah.
Oh, I do remember that. I was judging. Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
That was the one during COVID.
Yep.
That one was really crazy because they were like, maybe we're going to do it. Maybe we're not. Everyone's got to get COVID tests. And
I'm crazy with the COVID test.
things were real wild there for a minute.
Yeah. It's fun, man. Announcing's, it's cool, man. It's cool that people get to like, you know, it's like the sports announcing, right? It's like they got the ex-NBA players. They got the ex-football players. They got the people who know how to fucking talk about skateboarding, you know?
And never shut up. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Like, and I think for me, it's still just like, I'm a huge fan and I love getting to watch it and I love getting to be around it. It's like, I mean, it's, you know, we were just in Brazil and that was crazy. You're surrounded by 10,000 fans all losing their minds. And then you, like, I mean, they couldn't have written it better. Like, Felipe Gustavo makes the nollie flip front nose, like, wins. Then he finds out he's having a baby girl. And you're just like, what universe am I living in?
It's because skateboarding's rigged, man. That's why.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's magical, man.
It is, man. It is. Skateboarding's rad.
Do you prefer being on the sideline or being in like the main room? I don't know what it's called.
So I'll either do play-by-play or I'll do sidelines. And I like them both for their different reasons. I think sideline's really fun because it's like, I'm just down there. You can like actually feel it, you know, it's like a lot of fun. And it's always fun to get those like winter interviews. Some of them are good. Some of them are not great. And that's not on them. It's like a lot of the times it's on me. It's like, because there's only so many different ways you can be like, how did that feel?
Right.
And I've had some good ones. I've had some bad ones. One time I got called a fanboy.
Oh.
We went in afterwards and I did an interview with P-Rod. It was in Germany. And I think Paul won. And I was just like genuinely so pumped because I think Paul's awesome, and it was like really cool to see him like win one, and it hadn't happened for a while, and I was just like, amazing, da da da. And we go into the locker room, and Zitzer brings it up all the time. He's like, stop being such a fanboy, Andrew. But I full on got called a fanboy by this guy Hugh, who like I've worked with for years now, and he was just like, don't be such a fanboy. And I was like, I didn't even realize I was. I just was psyched.
At least you didn't almost drop one of their trophies.
Oh, goodness.
That happened to me.
Yeah, that's a scary one.
Yeah.
But I like them both.
Cuss live on the thing.
At least you didn't.
I just said, oh shit.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
But it's funny because like what you say in the sideline thing is like, I don't know if I really am a fan of that because you sometimes with these productions, you're really pressed for time,
Big time.
And you got to be like, hey, Jerron, how did you feel out there? Well, I felt pretty good. Okay. And anyway, you almost have to like cut them off and like you got to be really like, you got to kind of know and have that camaraderie also with that person and kind of have that like, not be afraid to kind of like, oh yeah, okay, and send it back up, you know?
And I'm really thankful that like, I think, you know, because I've done it for so long, it's really comfortable with everybody.
That's you know, thing, yeah.
Like it's easy enough to be like, Naja, Haisa, like, hey, can we talk? And everyone's always really cool.
Another thing too is like when you just said like you have some bad times and some good times, and I haven't done that much announcing just to be clear, but I did that one street league in Salt Lake City, and Haisa had won her little she'd won the thing, and there was a big Brazilian. I mean, they came out in droves. They must have bust out here or something, but like the big section, you know. And I knew at the time she didn't speak that well of English, so I'm like, how am I gonna like interview her right now over to the house, and what am I going to say? She doesn't speak that well of English. So I said, hey, congratulations, tell everybody whatever. I forget what I said, how you feel. And she started going off in Portuguese, and the whole fucking crowd ignited, and I was like, oh yeah.
That was the one good. That was like at that that like fairgrounds, right?
Yeah, it was outdoor. Yeah.
Dude, so that one was crazy because I used to be in a band, and I like yelled for this like heavy metal band, and we were doing like a little tour, and we did, I think it was like one show before that one, maybe two. I think it was one. I did the show in Santa Cruz. I flew to Salt Lake, and then I announced for 2 days straight. And like, I'm not great at taking care of my voice when I'm doing that stuff, and so I would just go and just. When I yelled, I would just go to town. And so the next day I'd always be like, hey, what's going on, you guys? It's good to see you. So I show up and my voice is already hoarse. And then I do 2 full days of announcing. And like Haisa wins that one. And then I ended up getting paid from Visa to use this sound clip of me being like, and she takes it, she wins it all. Like very like Dave Duncan-y sounding, you know what I mean? But that's because I did 2 days. And then after that, we went and played like 4 more shows. And by the end of it, I could not talk. And I think it took like maybe almost a full week.
I'm sure.
Before my voice came back.
Wow.
Yeah, it was wild.
It's a good time, dude. Hey, you know what? Skateboarding, man.
It's awesome.
It's awesome. That's why we're here.
We love it.
We love it.
Giant nerds.
Huge nerds. All right. Well, thanks, man. Thanks for that. No, this has been great, dude. I mean, congrats on all the stuff that you're like starting to do because you're free as a bird, you know, your YouTube channel. You're pumping content on the left and right.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying to do a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Wow.
We'll see how long it lasts.
Oh my
God. I'm like a few weeks in, and it's honestly so much fun.
Dude, Dan
awesome.
Corrigan, watch out, dude. You know what I'm saying?
He gets wild.
But Dan, does he do
every day?
It's different type of stuff than what you're doing then, right?
Yeah, he's doing. You do more review stuff.
Yeah. So because I said, I really liked doing the product challenge stuff, and then I was doing these vegan shoe reviews because I'm a hippie, and the reason was it was just like there's not a ton of options, and so for me, I was like, I wish this existed, and so because I have connections in skating, I was like, hey, Kelly, can you send me these new vegan S's? Like, I want to review them, and it's specifically because I was like, I want other vegan skaters that are having a tough time finding that stuff to be able to find it.
Right.
And so then when I got let go, I was like, I can skate everything.
Sure.
And it was just like,
the
my
Tom Asta
God.
right
Yeah.
there.
I was like, here we go. And so I mean, I've got 11 years of like product knowledge, you know, like behind my belt. And NHS has a straight up lab, like where you learn everything. And so I loved product. I worked with Tim Pumarta for years. He is like an absolute genius and doesn't get nearly enough credit in skateboarding that he should. And so I learned tons about product. So I totally get it, you know, and I really like it. So it has been so much fun to just do all this stuff, you know?
Right.
Boom, and there we go, baby, scrolling through.
You're building your channel, dude. You're building your channel.
Work in progress.
Work in progress, man. This one got a lot, though. I got let go from Santa. You should do one of these videos every week, man. It's got good
like,
views right there, bro.
Hey, yeah.
Once again.
The one that didn't do the well, and I was like, man, maybe this will have a little more crossover, was the like 40-year-old challenge. Can I go from being like just a skateboarder to like an Ironman? Because I'm doing an Ironman in November again.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so I was like, ooh, that one seems like it could work on a YouTube level. Nah, nobody gives a shit.
Which one is that?
If you go down a little bit.
Like, dude,
yeah, 40-year-old challenge, dude.
Fred Vanchi was like, dude, you got to ask him about the Iron Man stuff.
Wait.
You've done a couple of them?
So I've done basically a bunch of different things. There's my sweet, sweet wife. We were doing some food stuff for a minute, just having fun. Nice. So I got into triathlon stuff because I was looking for an outlet from skating. And so, no, actually, I got into triathlons because I was recovering from my first ACL surgery. So I've had second ACL surgery. Fuck, I can't even keep track of them. I've had 2 ACL surgeries and then a meniscus surgery. So the second one, I was like, all right, well, I'm riding my bike. Why not just do this? I grew up swimming, and I hate running, but running sucks. Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, well, let me try to do this, you know? And so I did a sprint, and I was like, ooh, that was fun. And I was like, maybe I'll do that again in the future. And so when I moved to Santa Cruz, I was pretty not psyched on skating there. The parks they don't have lights and stuff, and so it was like hard to get out and get it. And I definitely missed Arizona. So I was riding my bike, and I was like, fuck it, dude. They have a sprint triathlon in Santa Cruz. I'm just going to do it. So I signed up, and then I did it, and I was like, now I got to do an Olympic. Ooh, now I got to do a half Ironman. And I was like, oh, I got to do an Ironman. And so I trained for this Ironman for quite a while, and I got down into like the low 180s, which for me is like pretty good. Because like right now I'm like sitting here at like 199, 198. And I was like 211 just like 2 months ago. So anyway, I was like, man, I wanted this Ironman. I flew out to Louisville, Kentucky. I hung out with Zitzer. And I was like, all right, I'm doing this thing. Day before, they're like, swims canceled. There's blue-green algae in the water. And I was like, no. Like, no. I mean, you train all this time to do all 3. So if you're not familiar with an Ironman, it's like, I think it's a I'm going to mess up the distances, but I think it's like 2.4 mile swim, 112 bike, and then a full marathon, like 26.2 miles. And so you do it all back to back. And so I was training a lot, and man, I was like skating really well at that time because my body was just like kind of cranking. And I was like, dude, I'm going to do this. They canceled the swim. So I did the bike and I did the run, but I'm not an Ironman. And so that's been bothering me for like the whole time. And so When we were in Brazil in December for the Super Crown, I was like, I turned 40 in October, and I was like, I think I got to do it. And so I signed up, and I'm going to do it November 16th in Arizona. And I was like on a good one, and I was training pretty well. And then seriously, like I got let go, and I was just like, I got to make some shit happen here. Right. And so I just kind of jumped into like, okay, I'm going to do some consulting. I'm going to make some videos. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And so I have it in like, I don't know, what is it, like 4 months or something like that. And
you going to be ready?
I'm going to do it. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to cross that. For me, that's just like a bucket list one. And it's like turn 40. That's such a cool way to kick off my 40s.
I love it, dude.
So as long as I can stay healthy between now and then,
you got it.
It's on.
But that's like a gnarly amount of training. You're doing like every other day or something? Or?
No, you got to do shit every day. I mean, it's crazy.
You're going swimming like that all the time?
At a pool.
Yeah, I know,
it's
but
not
like
crazy.
I guess I'm not like I can imagine
you're going swimming every day.
But you know what I mean? Like you're going doing laps all the time. Like I don't do that. I got maybe bike or running, but not freaking swimming. That seems gnarly.
I grew up swimming. Like I was on swim team from when I was a kid until I was like 18. Wow. So I did that for years, and so I love swimming. Swimming doesn't bother me at all. The only hard part is you don't have any music. And so I bought
underwater headphones.
I bought these headphones. They're these like Shocks headphones.
Okay.
And you can put MP3s on them and you can listen to music. So I put on Explosions in the Sky and I feel like I'm just fucking flying, man. I'm just like, it's so nice. So yeah, literally when I get back, I went for a ride on Saturday and I was like, all right, we're dusting them off. And now it's like, dude, if I don't do this, I'm gonna fucking die.
Oh.
Do you get water in your ears?
I have.
You don't every time you swim?
No.
Why? Every time I swim, I get water in my ears.
This is where I go.
And I'm
tight. Like I don't know.
No, I got big ear holes. I think the water just flows in there like a flood, dude.
I don't know.
And then every time I move my head, you could hear the water inside. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
I hate that.
I don't get it often.
How do I?
Do you swim often?
No, but when I do swim, it happens.
The trick, you just got to get that hand and just like whap, 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 whap.
No. Afterwards?
Yeah, and it'll go away.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you heard of the stuff swim ear?
Yes.
Yeah, I used to use that when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, swim ear. You could do this. It's like alcohol based or something, but it evaporates the water or something like that.
Oh.
All that stuff's good. The worst is when you get swimmer's ear.
What is that?
Like when you get water stuck in there and then all of a sudden you get an ear infection and then you're like you can't even lay on your pillow because you're like it's so painful.
Dude.
Okay, those are the worst.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try the smack method.
Just smack your head.
Yeah, I'll try that.
I used to have to put wax in my ears when I was a kid. I had tubes in my ears when I was a kid, so I couldn't really hear.
You got big ear holes too?
No, I don't know what the deal is, but like no, I don't. I have small ear holes. That's the point. I think that I couldn't hear.
Oh, you have tubes to widen the
to widen them up or like stuff like that. But I had to put wax in it so water couldn't get in.
Oh.
Is that something people do? Just put wax in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
People put wax in or they'll put like you can get like special ear plugs. Oh. So yeah, I mean even the headphones came with earplugs. Like
some Spitfire wax or something?
Yeah, just go grab.
Okay.
So what's the golf wax?
And
golf. Oh yeah, the golf wax. Yeah.
I mean that's the real stuff.
That's the best wax.
Yeah.
Dude, awesome, dude. Well, I'm stoked for you, dude. You seem like you're in a great place, even though, the Santa Cruz thing and everything. But I think timing is everything, man, in life. Yes. Timing is everything.
I am a very firm believer, especially after getting together with my wife. I mean, the amount of things that had to come together for she and I to meet is like insane. Okay. And I mean, shit, like the amount of universe things. Like I was very atheist for a long time. And then I listened to this one podcast and they were talking about stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then I just was like, you know what? Yeah, maybe everything, right? Like not one specific thing. And I just kind of started putting a little bit of faith in the universe. And I am a firm believer that the universe provides if you go for it. You guys ever read that, like The Creative Act, the Rick Rubin book?
Oh, I love Rick Rubin.
He's so rad.
I
never read that book, but
he talks about like your antennas. And so it's like if you've got your antennas up,
You got to be on the same wavelength.
Yeah,
you got to
man.
be on the same vibe, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But
true.
I do believe that. I believe, I absolutely believe that, like, you put energy out there and you do these things and, like, things come back. And as long as it's authentic, you know?
I also feel like you have to be on the same wavelength because you have to be able to receive it. You know, you could put it out there as much as you want, but if you're not in the position to receive it, it's not it's not going to happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm just I'm also a big fan of just trusting your gut. At this point, like, everything in life that I have is because of skateboarding, and I'm incredibly thankful. But a lot of it is because I followed my gut and just took chances.
Yeah.
And that you just got to take some risks and go for it.
I love it, dude. I love it.
I think about you a lot in certain scenarios because when I heard that you were the brand manager, or when I started working at NHS and I was talking to Jeff about you and stuff, he's like, "Oh, Andrew had no idea he had no experience before he did this, but he's one of the best ones I've ever worked with in my life." And I was like, "Oh, that's good. That's like cool to know because sometimes I might start a job and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, but you just learn over time." And I was like, "Oh, Andrew, like, kind of is that guy I look up to in that sense where, like, you can go into something, like you said, say yeah, and you just go do it, and then you'll learn over time." But yeah,
The secret is nobody knows what they're fucking doing. Like, even you guys, right? Like, you started a podcast, you start a thing, and it's like, I mean, parenting is like the perfect example. Nobody knows how to parent. People can tell you about it, and all of a sudden you're just like,
just take it home.
especially you have twins, you're just like, holy shit, what do I do? It's all crazy, and we're all learning, and it's like, the biggest thing is you just can't be scared to fail.
Yeah.
And there's so many people out there that are so concerned about failing and concerned about, like, what is it going to look like? Or are people going to think I'm lame? And it's like, stop worrying about what everyone thinks about you, man. Just do what makes you happy, so long as you're respecting other people and you're, like, you get one shot. I grew up on, like, hardcore music, and, like, then I got way into metal. And I saw this great tweet many, many, many years ago, and it was like, hardcore is the genre where they say everything matters, and metal is the genre where it says nothing matters. And I am, like, the perfect mix of both of those, because I have this, like, semi-nihilistic perspective that absolutely nothing fucking matters. And I'm like, and we are all going to die, and who gives a fuck? And so to me, there's like it doesn't matter. But I love that because nothing matters, you then get to define what matters. And you get to be like, oh, you know what matters is, like, my friendships and my relationships and my family and stuff like that.
Right.
And so it's kind of a weird outlook, but, like, I just hope that some people can go, maybe I should not give that much of a shit, you know?
Yeah.
Don't go hurt anybody. Don't go do anything, like, illegal. But, like, the next time that you're like, I don't know, man, should I make that video? Should I send that email for the job? Should I do that thing? It's like, dude, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
all day.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Who cares?
It's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
fuck it, who cares?
Andrew Cannon, man. World Industries, huh?
Dude.
I'll sign the autograph when we're
Please,
done, okay?
yeah,
I mean,
man.
jeez.
You didn't get any boards like a Wet Willy or anything?
Dude, I tried. Because at the time, you saw the pictures, I had a huge beard,
Yeah.
and I am a very sweaty individual. And I was like, RP, Sweat Willy, we gotta do it. And it was like, when I turned pro, they were like, right before, they were like, we're ditching Wet Willy. And I was like, no!
Just one more.
One more.
Bring
Sweat
back
Willy.
the Sweat Willy.
They weren't
good.
down. It hurt my heart.
Well, dude, thanks for coming, dude, on the show, man. I enjoyed every minute of this. Great, fascinating stuff. Because, like, not only were you, like, a pro skateboarder, but I love the inside scoops of, like, skateboarding, you know? I don't think a lot of people get to hear a brand manager who's been, you know, with Santa Cruz, one of the biggest skateboard companies in the world, for 11 years, and kind of figure out the inside workings of them. I think it's a great thing that we get to take a little peek inside, pull the curtain back a little bit, you know? It's beautiful.
Thank you. It was an amazing experience. And, you know, to everybody over at NHS, like, I love you guys. Thank you so much for everything. Jeff, thank you. I wouldn't be who I am today
Yeah.
without that experience. And I'm just so thankful.
I love it.
You know?
I love it, man. Can we give you some 9 Club stuff to take home with you, dude?
Yeah.
Please, Kelly, we do the honors, dude.
I'm a large.
Well, he's going to be...
When people say I'm an XL, I always get offended. They're like, "You're probably what, an XL?" I'm like, "Come on."
You're going to be a medium pretty soon.
No, never.
Iron Man. What?
Never.
Too small.
It's too small.
How many pull-ups can you do?
Like 3.
That is
matter.
not an Iron Man.
My arms, it's
That is
not my
not-
arms.
Not-
I swim, but even then, that's like all feet.
That is not a man of iron.
It's all my legs. I got big legs.
What about? Oh, you do.
Yeah.
And by the way, everybody, we were talking about the shoes that he wears and everything, because we had you came to Woodward.
Yeah.
The flight in, we picked you up at the airport. This guy gets off the plane. I'm looking at him. He's wearing shorts. He looks like a full tourist. He's wearing shorts, sandals, no socks, fanny pack, everything. And I'm like, you did not just fly halfway across the country in sandals. Are you kidding me, dude?
It was a point of contention with you. You were very displeased.
That was good, actually. But like, would you say, because you said earlier you're a sweaty person,
Yeah.
does that have a lot to do with that, obviously?
Absolutely.
That's what I was thinking.
Dude, I do not like being uncomfortable. Like, I wear shorts a lot just because it's like,
You're in Arizona?
yeah, fuck, it's hot, man. It's super hot out
A
there.
little bit.
But I don't know. Yeah, I just like being comfortable.
I'm just thinking, on the plane, the guy sitting or somebody sitting next to you, and that's just not. It's not.
But I also I take precautions to not be disgusting.
Oh, okay.
So like
Well,
when it comes to travel,
right.
it's like, do you guys? Are we about to get into it? Like, y'all wear deodorant or what?
Yeah. What do you mean? Do I? No, all natural.
Aluminum
No.
free.
Yeah, dude, Hume. That is the best stuff. It's like the only stuff that works for me where I don't get disgusting or smell or whatever.
Right.
I just tried that Mando stuff because they didn't have Hume at the store near me. Didn't work. But I'll do like the Lumi wipes. You guys ever use those?
Is that for your butthole?
It's for any. It's for any hole.
Oh.
But like,
For your body.
Oh, it's a body wipes.
it's got like a bacteria, like a natural like bacteria, something going on. And so basically, you like rub it on your feet. You can rub it on naughty bits. You can rub it on your armpits, whatever. And what it does is it like essentially eats away the stuff that creates the scent.
Oh, interesting.
So, so like when I travel, I'll bring Lumi wipes, or I use that Mando stuff. Like you can put it on your feet, you can put it all in all your biz and whatever, and it totally makes a difference.
Are you getting paid from all these companies?
No, but dude, so this goes back to like, why am I doing reviews? Sharing information is sick. Like, if anybody was like, "Oh, dude, you travel a lot. Have you used Lumi wipes?" I'd be like, "Oh, what are those?" Like, that's why I do the videos I do. I'm not gonna make like a bunch of money reviewing skate product, but skateboards are kind of getting expensive, and it is cool to be able to be like, "Oh, that's a rad looking board. I want to go buy that." Like, I did a Sean Hale one, and I've been friends with Sean Hale for 15 years. There's nothing cooler than being able to be like, dude, my friend's board, I got to review, and it's interesting because it's a 9 and it's got a 14.25 wheelbase, and there's all this fun stuff. It's like, that's cool.
Yeah.
I love sharing information
That's
like
great,
that.
dude.
Dude, you probably be really good at doing some of these Amazon reviews, and you could get paid for, like, if someone likes what you reviewed, you get paid off it, and it just sits on fucking Amazon forever based on whatever product that you enjoyed. I think you should probably look into it because it's like exercise money. I know you. Maybe
I know.
not.
You know what? My hard part is
You don't have to show yourself. You just have to talk.
I know, but I'm a very, I'm a vote with my dollar guy.
Yeah.
And so for me, I have actively been not supporting Amazon. I've been like not supporting a lot of stuff. Like that's as political as I'll get, but I'll just say like, I vote with my dollar and I boycott things that I don't believe in.
Okay.
Understandable.
Okay.
But
I hear you.
yeah,
Makes sense.
it's tough, man. There's a lot of money and a whole lot of, but it's also tough
they
because
monopolize
it's like
everything. I get it. It's like I want to go support people that obviously need the support.
But it's always like, but then we're talking about YouTube and who's YouTube owned by, and it's like, and then it's like, oh, but then you work for this and they're owned by this, and it's like whatever.
It's a slippery slope. To
Listen,
a degree.
at the end of the day,
Do what you can.
You're never
Yeah.
gonna win, dude.
No,
You're gonna unless you just move out to the woods and live off grid and don't something's owned by somebody.
damn right. Damn right. I don't want to win, man. I just want to die next to my wife at 90 years old in our bed. That's all I want. If I can do that, I'll be psyched.
It's a good wish for
That's my goal.
for sure.
Andrew Cannon, man. That was great, dude. Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much.
having me.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
guys.
Yeah, dude.
We want to give you some stuff here. We talked about, the little. We don't have waterproof earbuds for you, but next time you're at the skate park, you get the Skull Candy Kilo. You could attach this to your belt or just put it down on the ground. Play your favorite music, copyright free though. Don't be jeopardizing your YouTube revenue.
I'm imagining putting that on your belt and skating, and that thing just whacking you left and right.
Suck.
You know what? Do a review.
There we go.
Do
I
a
wanna
kilo,
hear-
do a kilo review.
I want to hear music of you yelling
You can hear it on Spotify.
on Spotify. What do you say words? You just like,
Oh yeah, dude, write lyrics, all that shit.
Oh, okay.
And it dude, there's honestly there's songs about all kinds of stuff. There's a song about Henry on there.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Yeah,
Beautiful,
all that
man.
stuff.
Well, please don't yell right now. You never know, man. This offer is for everybody, but here's some 9 Club stickers. If you do get the cover of Thrasher, it's $20 photo incentive. We all know how photo incentives works. I'm sure you've dealt with photo incentives for the longest time. We do it the old-fashioned way, where you still got to Xerox copy it and then send it in to us, okay? And then we'll mail you the check.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
This is a large 9 Club. This is our college tee. I'm going to rip this open right now just because I want to show you, man.
Dude, it'd be good to wear for your Iron Man if you have a 9 Club shirt on.
Ooh.
That's what I should wear?
Yep.
Look at this. Beautiful.
That's
This is our
exactly what
college
you should
font
wear.
right here.
Chafing.
No chafing.
It's a chafe free.
It's a chafe free. It's a chafeless.
Do a review on it, dude.
I'm gonna review.
do a
Yeah.
review.
Yeah.
Guys, what do you got for me? I'm down to review
Trust
it.
me, we got one more
Reviewing
thing.
it
We got
all.
another thing for you to review.
A few more things.
Did you coffee, tea? What did
Oh,
you
I'm a
do?
coffee guy.
Yeti. Come on now. Now this thing will fit in your drink holder. This will keep your coffee. I got over here around 3 p.m. It's about 8:15 p.m. My tea is still hot, by the way. This is what I've been drinking this whole time. It's beautiful, man. Yeti, dishwasher safe.
There's a lot of infomercials going on in this freaking show today.
A little bit.
Yeah.
This is the one. This is the one, though. We created a nuts and bolts company. It's called Nuts and Bolts. You're on the team.
Yeah. Crazy.
Welcome.
Who would have thought that you would have got let go from Santa Cruz, brand manager, creating YouTube videos and get a new sponsor after all this time? I'm sure World Industries. What was the other one? Matt Price's company.
Brimley.
Maybe that was the last sponsor you've ever had, but not today.
Wow.
Not today.
I can't accept. A dude at the skate park yesterday goes, "Hey man, are you sponsored?" I go, "Nope. I don't want to be. I'll skate you both.
You're it doesn't. Here's the thing.
Kick me off the team."
Everybody that come
You're
on
on
our
the
show
team.
is automatically on the team. I don't care if they own a bolt company. I don't care if they skate for a bolt company. They are on the team. So you get 2 packages of bolts per year.
That'll last you.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
Thank
exactly.
you. I think a lot of
You have to-
people.
all the reviews he does, he has to put those same ones back.
Just review.
Dude,
Just
it's gnarly.
please review
I'll
our bolts.
review
again.
the nuts and bolts.
Review
Can
the
people
bolts.
buy these or what?
Yeah, they're on the website, nightclub.com.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We're gonna see how they go.
Wait, which
good.
one are those? The Allen or the?
I grabbed what he probably likes. They're probably the 1-inch.
Philip.
You got 7/8 Allen or what?
Yeah, we got you, dude. We'll hook you up.
Roger might need to put some more. In the
Yeah, we need
bags.
we need to refill back there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was our promo back there, but our
Our nuts and bolts warehouse is stacked over
it's
there.
huge.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's huge.
Your team's pretty huge then, huh?
We have we almost 380 people now.
Wow.
Biggest team in skateboarding history.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
Skateboarding history, dude.
totally, dude. More people than H Street.
Oh yeah.
I feel like Independent might have the biggest team.
No, they can't. They don't even
They
compare.
have a book.
They can't even compare. We'll have a book soon.
Who's doing that?
That's what you guys are gonna hire me for. I have an English degree.
Oh,
See, consulting. There we go.
Excuse me. We just heard about your substitute teaching job. we don't want any part of it. Andrew Cannon, thank you so much for
Yes,
coming on the
dude.
show. We really appreciate that, and good luck with everything. Call us if
Thank
you
you,
need
guys.
anything. And dude, you're always welcome. Doors always open.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That was great.
That was
Bye.